What's going on, guys? I'm Jeff, the Yoshi Fanatic, and welcome to part 1 of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD! Oh, jeepers. Hang on one sec. I forgot to turn something off. My bad. There we go. Yay, it's Jeff! It is! I'm here! I'm here! Today's the day! How are you guys? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Heloy, JP, Moreno, and Aurora. What's going on, guys? Hope you've all had a good week. Did you find the lost remote yet? No, I've given up all hope, Aurora. I truly have. Chances are my daughter put it in the garbage or something. That sucks, but that's what it is. We at least have the giant TV remote, so we're gonna just roll with that. JP says, I always thought the slower paced part in Donkey Kong Island Swing was odd. A song just completely changes from that point on. But I suppose that was the intention. It's a nice sounding second half. I honestly really like the song. And I really like the remix in Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. So, it's been a little bit... it's been a little bit since I've done a brand new game on Livestream. So the way that I normally do it is I chuck it everywhere. Anyway, the way that I normally do it is I'll do a little bit of an unboxing here, just to show you what's in there. There's really not much to see, but I still like to do it anyway for the experience and to show you guys I haven't touched this game yet. I have played Donkey Kong Country Returns before, but it's been years, probably a decade or more since I've really delved into it. So I'm looking forward to playing this again and seeing how it stacks up to well, I guess modern standards, but also Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Does this live up to the legacy that it's set for itself? And is the remaster really all that needed? Let's find out. But let's start by opening it. I do like the versions of Donkey Kong Island Swing that continue the first half instead of changing the second half. Makes it more consistent and gives it more energy, like DK64 and other remixes. Yeah, there are some good remixes of it, for sure. Alright, I don't anticipate that there will be a lot in here. Probably just, you know, a little bit of inside art, if that. Yeah, there you go. It's Donkey Kong Island. Or Kong Island, I guess it's called. So there you go. And there's the game cartridge. And that's it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and slap this bad boy in the Switch. And, yeah, we'll go from there. No, I should... Oh, you know what? No, I'm putting it right there. I'll be right back. Yeah. Let's see if it needs any sort of day one patch. I only played a small portion of the 3DS version many years ago, then sold it. It felt a little strange to play on 3DS. Never played the Wii one. Rare moment when Jeff stands up! Boy, doesn't that just say it all? Excuse me. Heloy, you almost killed me. Excuse me. My goodness. I'm okay. I'm alright. My goodness. Sorry about that. Jeff starts dying. Yeah, that happens. That happens sometimes. Bless you, says DV. Thank you. I'm gonna set up my recording software. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Save and start the recording. Speaking of DK, anything to say on the Mario Kart 9 design? Not really, but JP shared that it's been a, it might have been like a redesign that they've been trying to do since before the Mario movie, or like even in preparation for it. I don't know. Seems like it'll be the DK design going forward. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I prefer the old one, but I guess we'll get used to it. There it is. Hang on. Jeez. Alright. Sorry. Donkey Kong Country Returns. Let's go. And no day one patch. That's even better. Reminds me a lot of the new King DDD design they used since Forgotten Land. Yeah, that one seems to be more like in line with the N64 version of King DDD from like the Crystal Shards. Let me know if the game needs to be turned up at all, guys. I feel like it could probably use it. Let's go ahead and turn it up to 65%. Let me know if it does need a little more. Thank you, Aurora. Just keep the gameplay in the corner the entire time. I prefer that. Do you now? Well, if you stick around till the end of the stream, you'll get a lot of face cam Jeff. So, here's what's gonna happen tonight, guys. I'm only gonna play like 2 hours or so of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, because I might want to do... I did a little bit of a recording for the other versions of this game, and I kind of want to do like a graphical comparison, maybe. I may or may not do that, but it's possible. And then, I want to take the last half hour to an hour or so of the live stream to talk about my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, because that happened. So, if you have any questions about the Switch reveal, or the Switch 2 reveal, I won't really be talking about it during the stream until the end. So, yeah, let's do that. Jeff, explain. DD changes designs more often, lol. If they are gonna change DK moving forward, it's odd he has a new theme park that uses his regular design, lol. Even as a mascot suit. Cheapers. Guys, is this a little quiet? It feels a little quiet. Let's go ahead and turn it up a little bit, I think. Alright, how's that? Alright, without further ado, let's return to Donkey Kong Country Returns, aka Donkey Kong Country Returns. Alright, new game. I won't mind if it's just for Mario Kart. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so this is a feature in the 3DS version, where there's a modern mode that gives you a little bit more health, and you can buy more helpful items at Cranky Kong's shop. And then the original mode, which you only have 2 hit points, and yeah, it's the same settings as the original Wii version. You know we're gonna go with that one. I want to play the game as it was intended. Let's see our options as far as controls go. Ooh, HD Rumble? Yeah, that should definitely be on. And let me check to make sure it is on. It's not giving me any sort of feedback, whatever. Controls. So, what are the details here? Run, grab, throw, combine, blah, blah, blah. Ground pound is L and R. Okay, no, we're going to default. Jeez, Eloy, you almost killed me, man. Why play Donkey Kong Country Returns when you could just play Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze Returns? Good question, Satella guy. Welcome to the stream. We're gonna find out. Oh wait, what options do we have as far as... No, not extras. We don't have any extras yet. We're gonna find out. I want to see if this game really compares to Tropical Freeze. Like, I've played it, I've played this game once in its entirety, like, over a decade ago. And what sorts of options do we have? Not really any. And I want to see how this measures up to Tropical Freeze, because I loved Tropical Freeze. And honestly, I still want to go and stream that game at some point. Maybe after this one. We'll see. I don't know yet. Still wish they would have put in Dixie and Cranky, says Aurora, like they did in Tropical Freeze. Yeah, that would have been cool. Does this have a new funky mode? If not, this is an instant 0 out of 10. Satellite Guy says, and to be honest, I'm very excited about the Switch too. I literally started going crazy watching the trailer live. Yeah, I believe it. I didn't as much, but I'll talk about that later. I made it, says SKL. Welcome to the stream, SKL. How are you, friend? Let's get started. Enough of the preamble. Let's do this thing. I'm really looking forward to this. Like, honestly, I know a lot of people have been talking this game down, or this specific remaster and everything down. And I get it. Like, why is it $60? Why is it basically just a remaster of the 3DS version? Yada yada. I get that. But at the same time, it's going to be really nice to have a version that, you know, I can play on a home console with a normal controller. That'll be really nice. Good so far. Made a new avatar and working on a new video. Very nice, SKL. And hello, Shelby Rice. Welcome to the stream. I love how everyone went more crazy about 24-player Mario Kart than the actual console. Also, by the way, no, the game has no funky mode. No, it does not. To be honest, there's not too much to say about the Switch itself, says DV. I think you'll be surprised. I have a decent amount of stuff to say. I came up with an outline for what I want to say, and I've got 3 pages worth, so strap in. No, not my bananas! Not my bananas! Somehow I feel like the elephant would probably pull the whole thing more to the right. I doubt the giraffe has as much strength to him. Conga Dog! Welcome to the stream, J-Dog. Diddy's like, hang on, those bananas look familiar. I remember Game Explained saying that this is not just a up-res 3DS port, it's still using the Wii version as a base. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, if it were just taking the 3DS version and upscaling it, we would probably know it. Trying to hypnotize Donkey Kong, how dare? How dare you? But no workies. Diddy Kong wearing a Nintendo hat since 1994. Heck yeah. Love it. Oh, I love that part. He's like, you can't get me, I'm too dumb. Wham! It feels like it took an obscene amount of punching, but I don't mind. Here we go. Time for some Donkey Kong. I like how he looks at the camera like, you seeing this? So yeah, welcome to Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Let me know if this is too loud. It seems like in OBS it might be a little too loud. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the initiative and turn it down. Head empty. I loved the Wii version, making you go crazy with the Wii remote to bust yourself out of DK's house. Honestly, like, I was playing it again last night just to capture a little bit of footage. And I kind of had fun with it, but I definitely prefer playing this game like a normal human, so I'm very, very much excited to have, like, just the standard controls. Very excited. Oh, I have been excited to play this game, honestly. DKC Returns, I don't remember how much people praised it back in the day, but I know that Tropical Freeze is amazing, and this is basically, like, you know, well, it's the game that came before that, so, you know, Tropical Freeze is kind of based off of this one's formula-ish. First impressions, playing with an actual controller. Yeah, right? A glowing endorsement if I ever did hear one. He returns for the 3rd times! I sure do. Welcome to the stream, Chris. How are you doing, buddy? Welcome to part 1 of Donkey Kong Country Returns, aka DKC Returns HD. No! Give me that last banana! Ooh, banana. I still don't understand why Nintendo just thinks they can keep getting away with remastering the same game. Just give us a new DK game, Nintendo! Yeah, right? You know, that's the question, though. Like, if... Like, whenever we get a new DK game, who's developing it? Is it going to be Retro Studios? And if it is, then we're going to be waiting for a little while longer. They're working on Metroid Prime 4. I think people still love this game, even despite the motion controls. That sounds about right. From what I remember, this game was a lot of fun, challenging as heck. But just a really solid Donkey Kong game. And I've been looking forward to getting back into playing this game. If only Retro Studios weren't busy with Metroid Prime 4, says DB. Yeah, but at the same time, I can't wait for Metroid Prime 4. Very, very excited. Yeah, give me that banana medal. Boink. Boinkity boink. Well, it's just nice to, it's nice to just have the retro duology on Switch. All 5 DKC games are on it. That's true, that's true. I mean, yeah, it's been over 10 years since the last Donkey Kong game came out, but at least all 5 of them are playable on Switch. I have thought about picking up the, Switch version of Tropical Freeze. I still don't have it. I still have the Wii U version. I got it on sale in 2014 for Black Friday when I first bought my Wii U. Got it for like 20 bucks or something like that. I don't remember, but it was a crazy good deal. And I never bought the Switch version just because I'm like, the Wii version or the Wii U version is perfectly fine enough. It still looks great. Focus on this part for a second. Oh, I probably should have mentioned, guys. I do intend to 100% complete this game. So, here's hoping that I can. I think that would be fun because from what I remember, there are some extra levels that unlock once you have done certain completion criteria, but I don't remember what they are. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. Got a laptop for Christmas. That's very nice, SKL. Do you happen to know the specs on it? I'm interested. Camelot said they want to make a DK game in the past. No idea how that'd go. Yeah, I don't know. What other games have they developed other than the Mario sports games? I feel like they must have done some, but... Oh, give me a banana medal. I want it, I want it, I want it. Hello? Oh, right. Right. I will note this. We are finished with the Switch and its remake era of bringing the over Wii U games. We should expect actual new installments for the Switch, like Mario Kart 9, says J-Dog. Or just more remasters of the Switch games at this point. I don't know. Who knows what we'll see? Time will tell. But yes, I am also hoping for some more original titles for the Switch too. We got a lot, honestly, for the Switch. Don't get me wrong, we got a lot of original games for the Switch, but we also did get a lot of remasters. I know that bothers some people. It used to bother me more than it does now. But, yeah, again, time will tell. I thought for a while that Retro Studios was some crappy studio that made a lot of forgettable flops, just like Disney, says the Teleguy. No. Retro Studios puts out a lot of good stuff. They're responsible for the Metroid Prime trilogy and both of these Donkey Kong games. They're fantastic. I love that studio. Hi everyone, time to Banana Slammer! Welcome to the stream, Blues Cat. How's it going? DK punching his way out of the house is a cool way to open the game. It sure is. I agree. Golden Sun. Ooh. Yeah, I guess that does raise the question. How? Oh, that seems a little loud. Here, we're gonna turn the gameplay down a little bit here. Nintendo, did you say more more HD Wii and 3DS remasters? I saw the Switch 2 and I thought the design was mess, says Blues Cat. Well, I will give you my thoughts at the end of this here live stream. But I won't really be talking about the Switch too much until then. It'd be nice to get that Woolly World port, lol, but I'm in no hurry, says JP. I am in agreeance. As I said in my 3DS versus Wii U version of Yoshi's Woolly World video, if there was a Switch version, I bet that it would be the definitive way to play the game, and it would be a no-brainer to pick it up. That, and I think Yoshi's Woolly World kind of needs, like, a chance to sell on a, well, really good selling console here. I mean, it's not like the 3DS was bad selling at all or anything, but it didn't sell very well on the 3DS, like maybe 500,000, which given the install base of I think over 80 million copies for the 3DS, yeah, that install base, that attach rate isn't great. Like 1 in every 160 people owning a copy. So I bet that Woolly World would do really good on the Switch. I mean, heck, Yoshi's Crafted World turns out sold like 3.5 million copies. So if Yoshi's Crafted World can sell that many, imagine how well Yoshi's Woolly World would do. That's what I would say. Rayman Origins and Legends are both great games. I want to play them, I really do. I have the Legends, and I played it for like 5 hours, but I never finished it. And again, I think I talked about this in a previous stream, maybe even the last stream. I don't remember. But, it was just a time in my life that, you know, I was starting to get a little busy. I met Sky in 2017, which is when I first started playing Rayman Legends. And, you know, I got busy on the weekends and just... Oh, no! I got busy on the weekends and just didn't have time. So, yeah, Rayman Legends ended up going on the back burner, and that's still where it is. At some point, I will pick it up again and play it. Even if it's on Livestream, I want to do it. Maybe even especially if it's on Livestream. That might actually get me to finish the game. Piranha Plant's distant cousins. Yeah, right. The very tropical versions. My brain, is that a level and name of King of Swing reference? I don't remember what the name, I wasn't paying attention to the name. Oh, hang on. Woo! Woo! I'm not doing great here. Come on. Actually, you know what? I've got all the time in the world. What am I talking about? I did great. Is Donkey Kong father of P. Diddy Kong? Joke. Jeepers. I love how the background is incorporated as part of the level, says DV. Yeah, that was really cool. SKL responds to my question about the laptop saying, I don't know, really. I'm just a kid who non-stop talks about Rayman in any conversation gaming related. Fair enough, fair enough. I'm kind of just I'm a techie guy, so I was curious. Can't wait for the Switch 2 where Wii and Wii U ports will now be $70. Honestly, I would not be surprised at all. That's kind of the industry standard at this point. And as much as we all balk at the idea of paying $70 per video game, well, it was kind of inevitable. Oh, geez. Well, I don't want to say inevitable, but I felt like it was coming. $60 has been like the standard for video game prices since 2005, so I'm not too shocked that we had an increase, especially with the rapid rate of inflation and well, not just the inflation of the currency, but also the increased prices of video games inflating out of control, developing them, that is. I'm not shocked. Though, in fairness, I may be more appalled when I actively start paying $70 for video games when they come out. I picked up some PlayStation 5 games like a month ago or so, and I didn't pay full price for any of them. They were still on sale from like the Black Friday discounts. So I ended up getting most of them for like 40 bucks or 30 bucks. I don't remember the prices exactly. Astrobot was by far the most expensive, but that game is $60 normally, which, that's interesting. But yeah, when it comes to Nintendo games that I'll want to buy day one, and if they're $70, I will definitely feel it a little bit more. Been used to paying $60 for basically as long as I've been buying my own video games, so not looking forward to that little change. Oh no, I missed a puzzle piece, didn't I? Oop. Do you want to play all the SNES trilogy as well if you like this game, says Chris. I have played Donkey Kong 1 and 2, but I've never played Donkey Kong 3 on SNES. So, my answer to your question would be, yeah, if I had never played Donkey Kong Country Trilogy before, I would probably be pretty incentivized to try it out, especially since all 3 games, I think. Yeah, all 3 games are available on the Switch via the NSO app. So yeah, I think that after playing this game, if I'd never played the original Donkey Kong Country games, yeah, I would want to try the other ones out. Ooh, banana. I really am thinking that this game is going to be in development for twice as long as Metroid Prime. What game? This game? Oh, Metroid Prime 4. In 2025, and we still have no Metroid Prime 4. We got told it would be in winter 2024. It's 2025 now, says Satella guy. Yeah, sometime this year, I think. I mean, we have gameplay footage, we have... You know, we have more information, we have an actual title now. Okay, I'm gonna be picking up a couple of these guys. I don't think I'm gonna really need extra lives. Like, despite how hard this game is, it throws a lot of extra lives at you, so I'm not too worried about that. I do want to get Squawks, though. I looked up Lanky Kong today, and I'm so happy that's a DK character they got rid of and never brought back. There's something about his design I really hate, says J-Dog. Like the fact that he's basically a giant rubber band. Funny how back then people were desperate for Metroid over DK. Now the tables have turned. Yeah, I mean, I would absolutely still take more, and yes, I missed a puzzle piece, so I gotta try this level again. And if I find it here early enough, then I can just dash through the rest of the level. It might be here. I might have been... Okay, it's not there. I might have been careless and just missed it being somewhere easy. My guess is I missed it up that away. Yeah, it's not like we're tired of Metroid or anything, but we've definitely been waiting longer for DK than we have for Metroid at this point. And it's funny that they're both done by, well, the 2D Metroid developers are still, or are not Retro Studios, obviously, but there it is. Now we can speed through the rest of... What? Hang on, what? Did I miss another puzzle piece? Oh boy, King of Kling. Oh yeah, that was definitely a reference to King of Swing. Ah! Ah! They have brought back Lanky Kong in the racing game DK Barrel Blast. Does that really count? Who played Barrel Blast? I didn't. Scott the Woz did. Okay, I know I got that one. So where could I have possibly missed? There it is. No, that's not it. I had that one. Where did I miss the puzzle piece? I played Barrel Blast, says Aurora. I'm sorry to hear that. What did you think, in all honesty? I subscribed for the dancing Yoshi, says Satella guy. Heck yeah, Satella guy. Heck yeah. Have you played Barrel Blast, Scott? Lol. I gotta go back and watch that video again. It's been too long. So where did I miss a darn puzzle piece? Remember, I am going to try and 100% complete this game. We'll see how that goes. Oh, that's where I missed it. Dang. It's like, I don't know, it's his face. It looks uncanny, but not at the same time. His old official render is one of the worst looking things I've ever seen in a long time. His air stared into you and back. It's hilarious the fact that I'm the youngest mod in the Yoshi Fanatic, says SKL. Sure, we'll go with that. It's closer to being a slide mode, or a side mode in another game than feeling like it should be its own game. It's way too short, says Aurora. Gotcha. Took only 32 minutes to mention Yoshi. World record? Lol. In a non-Yoshi live stream? Yeah, maybe. You know who they really need to bring back? Calypso, aka that female crocodile in Barrel Blast, says UV. Or, DV. That would be cool. I don't really know anything about Callisto. Callista? Calypso. Calypso! Pew. Okay. I don't know why I am continuing to, you know, not go for the exit here. Like, I've got what I need. Let's get out of here. I do have to beat the level, though. Pretty sure. Where's Diddy Kong Racing 2, says Aurora. Ask Rare. It's their fault. Actually, no. Now that I think about it, no. Another Diddy Kong Racing would be possible. I mean, Nintendo put out a remake for Diddy Kong Racing on the DS. They just had to get rid of all the rare characters, which that stunk. They got rid of my main, Conker. I wish the retro team in Nintendo weren't so hesitant to use K. Rool and his minions. They still own them. Yeah, that's the weird thing. Like, K. Rool is such an iconic villain for Donkey Kong, and everybody lost their minds when K. Rool got announced for Smash Bros. So, you know, the next Donkey Kong game would be a great time to bring him back, honestly. Ben the Rosa fan says Rareware were actually working on a Donkey Kong racing game for GameCube, but it got canceled after the Microsoft deal. Welcome to the stream, Ben. I think I have heard that. Yeah, I think I've heard that. And it's such a shame. I wonder how that would have gone. Like, I love Diddy Kong Racing. I would love a sequel. I didn't really play the DS remake, though. I played it like once or twice. I borrowed it from my friend growing up. And I don't know, it didn't grab me like the N64 version did, but you know, maybe it would if I gave it another try. Especially if I emulated it and made it look like actually good. Where's Banjo Pilot 2? Okay, I can't say that with a straight face. I don't know what Banjo Pilot is to begin with. I know what Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is. At least I know that. I gotta be honest, I'm glad they haven't used the Kremlings in a while. Played the original trilogy, and by the time I got really... By the third game, I got really tired of seeing it. And seeing them. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but... You know, it's been how long since the last Donkey Kong Country game? Like, from the original trilogy? Like, how many decades have we gone without seeing Kremlings? I think it's been 3 decades at this point, so in that way, we're definitely overdue for some Kremling action. Bring back the Kremlings! That's my vote. Is it possible for the Switch 2 to have custom themes / backgrounds, says SKL? I don't know. I don't really know. It's not something I'm super focused on, but I will admit, if we did have custom themes on the Switch 2, and again, I'm going to talk more about the Switch 2 later, so this is just going to be like a real short thought, but yeah, it would be nice to have custom themes. The black and white themes never really bothered me on the Switch, and I feel like they did that mostly just to keep the UI snappy on the home screen. And they did. Like, it worked, but it is like a little dreary and drab, isn't it? GBA plane-based racing game. Huh. That sounds interesting. They always seem to change the Kremlings in many wacky ways, so I never got sick of them. There's many variants. J-Dog says the Snowbads honestly are underrated. They have a lot of personality, and I love the Viking motif. Yeah, honestly, the Snowbads were great, but I do miss the Kremlings, I'll be honest. Pew. Such a Nintendo move when Nintendo just didn't bother making Rare a part of Nintendo, HAL Laboratory, Intelligent Systems, after they put almost all the good games on N64. Yeah, for sure. I think that they absolutely... I don't know if they were really buying companies at the time. Like, that seemed like more of a rare thing back then. But if they were buying any companies, Rare definitely should have been one of them. I feel like the Switch's menu is way too minimalist, says DV. It is, again, for the aforementioned reason that they wanted to keep the UI snappy. And given the Switch's relatively, let's just call it, modest hardware specs, I'm not too shocked about that. Still, it would have been cool. Like, I'm sure you guys noticed in my Yoshi's New Island retrospective video, but I've got the Yoshi theme for both of my 3DSs. And yeah, I love that theme, and I will continue to use that theme because, I mean, yeah, I'm the Yoshi Fanatic. Of course I'm going to use the Yoshi theme. Nintendo doesn't own HAL, they just co-own Kirby. Kind of like Pokemon? This is JP. Interesting. Didn't know that. There's a thing under here, isn't there? Yes, there is! I remembered, I did! Rewatched JonTron's old Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts review, and I can't get over how laughably bad the game meta jokes are. Yeah, for sure. I'm glad I never played that game. Oh boy. There we go. And there's a bonus here. Nintendo doesn't need to buy small companies due to having much up. What? They have. Why need more? But buying Rare would be a good move. Honestly, like, I'm not a huge fan of, like, company acquisitions anyway. But there are definitely some good moves that they can make. Like, I forget who it was that developed Luigi's Mansion 3, but didn't they buy them? Like, it's more that they have these developers that work on their series of games. Like, they don't make all of their games in-house, as I'm sure you're aware. Like, they don't make all the games in-house. Donkey Kong, for example, here, was made by Retro Studios, not Nintendo in-house. And there's a lot of examples where Nintendo doesn't make the games in-house anymore. The Yoshi games are another great example. So it's more just like making sure that they hold on to those developers and have them keep working on those games for them. I think that makes sense. Jeff, can you do a death compilation for Yoshi's Island DS while just playing Athletic Fuzzy variation from the original game? You want like an hour-long compilation of all my deaths? I mean, I certainly could do that. I don't know how enjoyable it would be. It will never not be a bold strategy to make a sequel/reboot that openly insults its predecessors and anyone who likes them, says Ben. Bold, yes. Smart, I'm not sure. There is something to be said about about meta humor, but I don't think that they went about it the right way. Yoshi's my favorite character, says Yoshi YT. Excellent. Mine too. You're in good company. Welcome to the stream. They did buy Next Label Games, says JP. I wonder how the developers feel when they get acquired by a bigger company. Like, I'm sure it varies from company to company, and like, they wouldn't say yes unless they wouldn't say yes unless there was some incentive to it, and like there was a, you know, something in it for them, obviously, that's an incentive. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, on one hand, like I said, it guarantees that the developer will be making games for you for the foreseeable future. And again, for Nintendo, for the companies that are essentially second-party studios anyway, that kind of makes sense. Again, the company that worked on Luigi's Mansion 3, rather. I think that made all the sense in the world. Goodfield Games might be a good idea as well? I don't know. Mercury Steam, I don't know what else they work on, to be honest, but they did a great job with Metroid Dread, so that could be a good pickup. I want to be clear, I am not up to date on all of the various, you know, developer acquisitions, so maybe they've already made some of these purchases, I don't really know. But I think that there's some good ones. Well, either do that or just stare at the camera for 10 minutes while it slowly zooms in for April Fools. Good idea. That one sounds like it would be a lot less work. Oh, jeez. This one seems a little bit trickier. Okay, I got it though. Yeah! SKL says the TikTok ban is tomorrow. Is it? I'm not up to date on that. I don't watch TikTok, so it doesn't really impact me whatsoever. Giga Gamer says, good evening. Cool, great game. Welcome to the stream, Giga Gamer. Yes. Yes, great game, and I am looking forward to playing it in its entirety for you on this here live stream series. Welcome to the stream. FYI, this level is actually 1.5. You need to buy the key for 1.4. I was wondering where I would be getting the key. I thought maybe, like, if I beat this level, then maybe I would, unlock the key and then go to the next level. I don't know. I don't know why I thought that. Well, you know what? I know why I thought that. That's a perfectly reasonable thought to have. There we go. Uh-oh. Wow! I like DK games, although I've only played one. Which one, Giga Gamer? I must ask. J-Dog says, a legit quote from the game, no, 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 it's too painful. Gamers don't want all this. All gamers want to do these days is shoot things. But since we're broadening the demographic, let's change things up. But Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. Yep, again, that sounds just about right. SKL says, is it okay if I can make an anime-styled version of your channel icon? You can go ahead and make whatever sort of artwork you would like to make. So long as it's not got suggestive themes or anything like that. And you can go ahead and post it in the community creations in the Discord if you would like. I'll take a look later. I don't watch TikTok either. Donkey Kong 64 and the N64. Never beat it though, but I did like it. I used to like DK64 way more than I do now. I played it again, though I guess going on like 7 years ago at this point. And I remember when I played it again, I very much didn't enjoy it as much as I used to. I think mostly just the 100% completion experience was, well, it was an experience, let's just say that. Uh-oh. That could have gone a little better, but it certainly could have gone worse. In Mario Kart 9, Yoshi is a brighter shade of green. That seems to be all that's different so far, says JP. All I know is I saw Yoshi, and I was happy that he was in the game. He's a Mario staple, of course he's gonna be in the game. I think I got a little bit lucky there. Did I? Oy. I missed yet another puzzle piece. I have a feeling I'm going to be using Squawks a lot. It's a long and grueling game, but it brings back memories of the 90s for me, says Giga Gamer. I can definitely see that. Shoutouts to Yoshi's Diner, that was awesome. And J-Dog here, pointed out to me that the Yoshi's Diner is, the building itself, is actually in the shape of Yoshi's face. So that's a cool little attention to detail. I didn't notice that. Of course, I didn't really look too close. Tell those tikis to keep it down. I'm an old ape and I need my rest. Yeah, we're buying that. What's your thought on with the new DK, says Chris. Not a huge fan, to be honest. But I'm not entirely against it. I think it's just one of those things that I'm gonna need to get used to. Like, when I first saw the DK design in the Mario movie trailers or the Mario movie like posters and stuff like that, I was not stoked. But in motion, it looked better than I was thinking it was going to. Let's go ahead and use Squawks here. Hello! There's a real Yoshi Diner? Is it like a Japan thing? Says DV. Is there a real Yoshi Diner? I don't think so, but that was in the Mario Kart track. Just use Squawks every time. It's okay to be adequate. I want to be above average. We'll see if that actually pans out. So what I'm going to do is, for the most part, I'm going to try and 100% complete the stage without needing Squawks. I don't really want to rely on him so much. But if I must, I must. Whoa. They're like, hey, we know you're gonna be impatient here. Here's a little bit of wiggle room for you. I'm both a DK and Yoshi fan, says Giga Gamer. That's awesome. And I would say that I'm in the same boat. I mean, like, I'm not as huge of a fan of... Hello? I'm not as huge of a fan of Donkey Kong as I am Yoshi, obviously. But, I do like Donkey Kong. So it's here somewhere. People have pointed out every character they saw in that Mario Kart 9 trailer. Pauline was there, so I'm happy, says JP. Nice. I think that we're going to start seeing Pauline more. Oh, hang on. Nope. Theory failed. I remember Squawks in DK64. He had a minor role, says Giga Gamer. Yeah, he was also in Donkey Kong Country. He had a more major role in that game, but only in a couple levels, so I guess it's still minor. Where? Squawks, where are you seeing this? What are you seeing? What are you seeing that I don't see? Wait, is there... No, it's not down there. Rosalina was there too, so I'm happy, says Ben. Perfect. Again, Rosalina's been a staple for quite a while now. Not too shocked. Squawks peaked in DKC2. I wish I remembered DKC2 more than I actually do. Like, it was a fun game. I really liked it. Hard as nails, too. Like, it was really hard. But I very much enjoyed it. Would definitely like to go back and 100% complete that at some point. So where am I missing this puzzle piece? The first Yoshi plushie I ever had was from an arcade. This is Yoshi YT. That's a pretty good origin story, if you ask me. I'm so confused. I remember the game being hard to the teeth on my first playthrough, says DV. Yeah, it was. And that, when I streamed it like 5 or 6 years ago, holy cow, was it? It was closer to 4 years ago. When I first streamed it on here, that was my first playthrough. So I, definitely struggled. But it was a worthy challenge, and I enjoyed it a lot. Yep. I am so confused. Fun fact, On Guard the Swordfish was considered for Tropical Freeze, which would have been perfect for those water sections. It would have been. I'm so confused. Any ideas? So we keep getting Donkey Kong Country, but when will we get Donkey Kong State? Or Continent? Jeff, backtrack after you get Rambi, lol. Was Rambi in this level? I didn't remember that. Rambi, huh? I didn't have the 3DS version of this, so I never played the new World 9 levels. I have the 3DS version. Quote unquote have. Let's just say I soft modded my 3DS, so I have Donkey Kong Country 3D. But I haven't played that all the way through, so I haven't experienced the new levels either. That is something that's cool about this remaster, having the extra content from the 3DS games. And I gotta tell you, playing this like an actual human being with an actual controller in my actual hands that I'm actually not shaking, game changer. Huge. Donkey Kong Galaxy, that would be a cool idea. That'd be an interesting idea. It's like that's where King K. Rool was this whole time. Just in outer space, formulating his revenge mission against the Donkey Kong, or the Kong clan, or Kong family. Ah! I thought he was. This is Aurora. Let's see. He can't be beyond this point. I always thought the rhinoceros was called Rambo. This is Giga Gamer. No, it's Rambi. Rambi. Have you heard about the canceled 3D DK game by Vicarious Visions? Says JP. Ooh, no, I haven't. Vicarious Visions are the people who made the Insane trilogy for Crash Bandicoot. And I believe the remake of Crash Team Racing also? Where the heck am I missing this? Nah, he was taking over the Donkey Kong Milky Way. I'm so confused. Shoot down from the second barrel in the triangle. Is that an option? Oh, heck yeah, you're right. My goodness, Ben, you are absolutely correct. Thank you. Alright, now we can just speed through the level. Because having a Diddy Kong on my back here, I can just roll indefinitely. As long as I keep mashing the Y and X button. Or in the case of the Wii version, just keep shaking the remote. Eh, screw it. I don't need that. I don't need the N. I already got it. Let's just blast through this level. Pun intended. Love that the statues are just screaming incessantly. Like, what's their problem? They're like in a pit of despair. Just like they have the knowledge that they're going to fall to their utter demise. And they're not accepting their fate. Have you watched the YouTuber Dashi? I always got a laugh for his love of Yoshi and beef with DK for many years. I don't think I have, no. You should share it in the Discord in the media recommendations. I would definitely be interested. Someone else who loves Yoshi? Heck yes. Neil the BC Fan 64, what's up, dude? Welcome to the stream, Neil. How are you? Welcome to DKC Returns HD, Part 1. Ben with a save, heck yeah. I've been getting interested in Sonic, especially the Sega Saturn era that never really came to be since its main game, Sonic Extreme, never got finished. I love the vibes of Saturn era Sonic, says J-Dog. I think I'm going to start getting into Sonic a little bit more here in the near-ish future, because I bought a PS5, and for my son, I bought a copy of Sonic Frontiers. I've played a little bit of it so far, and I enjoyed what I played, but yeah. And then, where is it? I also picked up Sonic X Shadow Generations, so I feel like I'm giving myself a decent chance of, you know, playing some enjoyable Sonic games here. Maybe I'll enjoy them more than I have the other games. I mean, like, I enjoyed Sonic Mania to a pretty fair extent. But it didn't make me want to play it multiple times. I think just the classic 2D Sonic formula isn't really my thing. Sonic Frontiers. Sure. Ow. Bugs Bunny has some beef with Tom and Jerry for being his biggest rival in the 40s and winning the most Oscars, says Yoshi Daffy Dog. What? They won Oscars for Tom and Jerry? Welcome to the stream, Yoshi Daffy Duck. How are you, friend? I recently got Sonic Origins to dip my toes into the classics. I've been thinking about that as well. Sonic Origins and what's the other one? There's another one with like the classic characters. Is that Origins? It might be. Yeah! Keep a good thing going. Tom and Jerry got weird after they started doing animated versions of popular movies, guest starring Tom and Jerry, like Wizard of Oz and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That is weird. That's really weird. And I thought the Tom and Jerry movie was weird enough. Though I did enjoy it to a fair amount, I'm not gonna lie. It's nostalgic for me. I actually really like the second game. I played Sonic 1, 2, Knuckles on an AT game Sega my gram got, and I played CD on my phone. Nice. Arcade Intelligence says, I'm going to stream this game as well. Well, I hope you enjoy it, my friend. How are you doing? Welcome to this stream of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. That's a mouthful. Tom and Jerry won 7 Oscars for Best Animated Short? What in the world? Sure, okay. Vicarious Vision was the one who made the GBA trilogy of Crash Bandicoot. Oh, interesting. I only knew that they developed the, or that they worked on, the Insane trilogy. It's the circle of life, and it moves us all through despair and hope, through faith and love. You know, I'm this far, I may as well finish it. Till we find our place on the path unwinding. It's the circle of life. That's just the vibes I got from that section. I don't know why. I'm Tom.
I'm Jerry. You talked.
Well, sure I talk. What do you think I am, an idiot?
You said it. I didn't.
Why, you little pipsqueak, I oughta...
Hey! How come you never spoke before? Well, there's nothing I wanted to say that I thought you'd understand. And there still isn't.
Welcome to the stream, Soshi. Vicarious Visions also did Crash Nitro Kart and Skylanders games. They've done more stuff than I thought. Hello, chat and Jeff. Hello, food. Welcome to the stream. The one where they talk or the 2022 one, says DV. The one where they talk. I watched that one as a kid. That one definitely has some nostalgia going for me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I should be ashamed of that fact or not, but I do have a fair amount of nostalgia for that Tom and Jerry movie. Due to eerily similar plot lines and who ripped off who. Oh, sorry. Funny thing is, Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny released cartoons in the same year that were about the characters playing the piano and being bothered by mice. There was a controversy about it, due to eerily similar plot lines and who ripped off who. That's interesting. Though I can see why there was a controversy about it. That does seem a little bit sus, not gonna lie. It's absolutely hilarious that every Tom and Jerry movie never actually focuses on Tom and Jerry. It's usually just Tom and Jerry getting involved in someone else's story, becoming the comic relief of their own movie, says J-Dog. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, that kind of seems appropriate, I guess. They essentially are just comic relief characters in general, you know? I mean, that's all they do is slapstick. Should I go down here? I feel like I probably should. Oh, that's the end of the level. Hang on. That was a perfect speaking Tom Cat voice, lol, says JP Moreno. Thank you. Oh, I screwed up, didn't I? Oh, I screwed up, didn't I? Oh, I thought I was going down a secret. I was not. I screwed it up. Hello, Josh McDonald. Welcome to the stream. I take any Tom and Jerry movie over Space Jam 2. Fair. I didn't see Space Jam 1 or 2. I'm doing great. I'm enjoying your gameplay and going to subscribe, says Arcade Intelligence. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, if you publicly subscribed, and then you will have a dancing Yoshi on screen. Just figured I'd put it out there. Growing up, I watched way more Tom and Jerry before Looney Tunes. Didn't even know about the first movie until much, much later on. What level are you in, says Josh McDonald. I am in the first world. I am on level 1-4, Sunshine Shore. And I'm gonna play it again because I missed a puzzle piece. The songs in the original Tom and Jerry movie is it's overhated. Friends to the End and What Do We Care are absolute bops. Yeah, I don't really remember those as well. I just remember, like, iconic lines such as, "We've got to have money from that butler. And then when Tom and Jerry are on the ship or on the little boat there, trying to make their escape, they're just hitting all the buttons to try to make the boat go. And Jerry's like, push the red button! It's always the red button! And Tom's like, I know that! I was gonna push it! The butler's a perfect representation of a CEO. For sure. We've got to have money. Man, you can go ridiculously fast in this game. Not as fast as Tropical Freeze thanks to Cranky Kong, but you can still have some major speed in this game. Aha! I knowed it was there. I know that I screwed up. I thought that I was doing a secret by going that way. Turns out I was not. I was being a sillies. Pugsy the dog was honestly the highlight of the Tom and Jerry movie for me. Instead of being pals, you're fighting like a cat and a mouse. I forget what his voice was like, but he was that bulldog, right? I'm subscribed to your channel, but where is the dancing Yoshi? That all depends on if you make the if you make your subscriptions public. If not, then you will not get the dancing Yoshi. But just to give you an example, here is Debow Hype, who subscribed 35 minutes ago. Here's the notification for him. There's the dancing Yoshi. More like jumping for joy Yoshi. I don't know why I said dancing Yoshi. That's not exactly what he is. I noticed that after the Tom and Jerry movie, in later interactions, they don't even utter a single line. People forget that they did speak occasionally in OG cartoons. In later iterations. You fell for the classic trap, locking you into progression so you can't get the puzzle piece. Yeah, darn it. Oh, gosh, diddly darn. They got me. I can't get the dancing Yoshi because I have no money. I've got to have money. It's not a money thing, J-Dog. You can subscribe for free, and you're already subscribed, so... How does Yoshi appear when you subscribe? Says Josh McDonald. Again, you have to have your subscriptions public. That's kind of just the thing. If you don't make your subscriptions public, publicly visible, I should say, then it's not going to show up as a notification. Like, I won't see a notification, and if I don't see a notification, Streamlabs doesn't see a notification, and Streamlabs is what I use to get the notifications, so... Yeah. Sorry if that's complicated, friend. I hope that honorary jumping for joy Yoshi that I just showed helps you feel a little better. Are you impersonating Elon Musk? Lol, says Vacuum Blank. I don't think so. I don't think I could do a very good Elon Musk impression. Like, he has kind of a more distinct voice. Oh, you mean the whole, like, we've got to have money thing? He's got plenty of money. I don't think he needs any more. But welcome to the stream, Vacuum Blink. Oh, lol, I thought this was some special premium thing. No. I don't have any paid incentives on my YouTube channel, nor do I want to have any. I just want you guys to come and hang out and have fun. Ooh, minecart level. Oh boy, we're in for it now. We're in for it now, guys. Hiya! Oh, that is... I think that's so satisfying just because they explode. Oh man, I missed him. Give me the bananas. Oh no, not the banana coin! No! Ha! Okay, good. Where's the NordVPN sponsorships? I don't know. Honestly, I think I've talked about this before, and I don't think that it's... Ah, jeez. I don't think that it's really worth mentioning, but I'm going to mention it anyway. If I ever got to the point where a sponsor wanted to sponsor my videos or whatever, I don't know that I would necessarily go for it. Like, I am a penny pincher. I do not buy a lot of things. I would just feel like a fraud telling you guys to buy something that I wouldn't personally buy. And there's a lot of things I don't buy just because I'm stingy, not because I wouldn't enjoy them. Like, I'm sure I would enjoy the occasional factor box, for example. I mean, I like cooking, but sometimes it is a bit of a pain to have to cook, you know, right when I get home from work and spend like an hour in the kitchen. I love doing it, but there are some times when it's like, it would be nice to just eat something a little quicker and easier. But, like, I don't pay for Factor. I'm likely not going to. So I would not feel comfortable taking them for a sponsorship. The only sponsors I feel like I would be... Oh... The only sponsors I feel like I'd be interested in taking are like Dollar Shave Club or yeah, I don't know what else. Really just that. Because like out of all the if I got like a Raycon sponsorship, I'd be pretty stoked about that. Like I don't have Raycon earbuds, but I would love to have some. My earbuds are not dead yet, but Raycons may be my next purchase. Or my next wireless earbuds. Anyway, enough about the whole sponsorship thing. Manscaped? Maybe. I don't know. But Dollar Shave Club, definitely. I really like Dollar Shave Club's razors. How do you subscribe public, Yoshi Fanatic? I couldn't really tell you. I think it's an options in your YouTube app. And it's not just for, it wouldn't just be for me. It would be, like a global thing. Like everybody would be able to see who you're subscribed to. So if that's an option, if that's a setting that you don't want turned on, I would completely understand that. Whoa! Forgot about this part. Yoo-hoo! Oh man, we're not done yet. Oh, okay, we're about done. Ow. The only kind of paid thing I'd actively sell on my channel is Reptails merch if I ever got that far, says J-Dog. I don't know that if I could actually sell merch on this channel because my entire channel is based off of Nintendo's IP. So I probably couldn't really sell any merch. Hey, got the K level. What do you guys think? Boss or the special level next? Platform Panic. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna post a poll. Let me know. Which one do you guys want to see first? Which one first? K level. Boss. And in the meantime, I'll try to catch up on some comments. Ethan says, hello there. Hello there, Ethan. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to part 1 of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Where's Raid Shadow Legend livestream? Yeah, right? That's pain. That is active pain. Wario wouldn't hesitate to promote Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah, yeah, no, he wouldn't. He'd be like, ooh, money! Are you excited for the Switch 2? Says Arcade Intelligence. Yes, and I'm going to talk about that at the end of the live stream. Yeah, I'm gonna have like kind of a discussion on what I think of it. So I'm gonna sell my, I'm gonna save my discussion stuff on that for later. Sell a Yoshi plush and call it Jeffshy instead, says DV. There you go. Give him a goatee. It's Jeffshy. I don't have any Yoshi OCs or anything like that. I'm not really into the whole OC thing. No shame if you are, I'm just not. But if I did have an OC, it would probably just be a Yoshi with glasses and a goatee. That'd be me, Jeffshy. You would sell Jerf or Jeff You Ate a Monkey merch. Yeah, perfect idea. When I played this game, I got very mad often, says Food. I can see that. It's a difficult game. Alright, it looks like... Wow, 100% of you voted for the K level. Well then, I shall honor your request. 1K Platform Panic. Unfunny joke of the day. What date ends up going bad? An expiration date. Okay, yeah, you know what? I enjoy the classic dad joke. I do. Now I want Raid Shadow Legend April Fool's video, just like Scott the Woz did, says Chris. What if I ended up, like, playing... Oh, man. Did you see that frame drop? I don't know if you did or not. But anyway, what would happen? What would you guys think if I played Raid Shadow Legends for like that April Fool's thing, and then I ended up like unironically liking the game? No! Well, I'm screwed. Jordan says, "Hi, Jeff. Sorry I'm late." No worries, Jordan. Better late than never. Welcome to the stream, friend. Welcome to part 1 of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. How are you, friend? I chuckled, says Vacuum Blink. To be honest, the shadow level still looks great in this game, but man, the graphics on the ones in Tropical Freeze looks even better. Busted Bayou looks beautiful, and I don't see people talk about it as much, says J-Dog. Fair. Tropical Freeze is just built different, to be honest. That's how we know you were paid by Raid, says Aurora. Aurora, DV. You would not be forgiven. Jeff She. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I don't want to touch Raid Shadow Legends with a 9-foot pole. Or a 39.5-foot pole.
Do 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 do.
Yeah. Alright. I have a feeling that I will be getting a lot of banana coins. Oh, and extra lives. That's huge. Oh, whoopsie. So this, if you weren't able to tell already, this is a very similar concept. What? This is a very similar concept to the Yoshi special and extra levels, where you get to a certain threshold of completion, and you get an extra hard bonus level from it. And I love when games do that. Like, it makes for a great completion reward and an incentive to go for, well, you know, 100% completion. Yeah, give me them extra lives. I'm gonna come out on top here. I'm gonna have a net positive in terms of extra lives by the time I'm done with this level. Do you see kind of what I mean by, like, you know, I probably won't be buying any extra lives just because the game kind of throws them at you? It's like Crash Bandicoot in that way. Like, it throws lives at you, but you're gonna need them. Oh no. Hey there everyone, how y'all doing? Welcome to the stream, Brain Pick. I'm doing grand. Having fun playing Donkey Kong. How are you, friend? Welcome to the stream. Donkey Kong's Tropical Return HD, says Vacuum Blank. I mean, technically that's kind of a thing, but it was already in HD. It was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze Funky Mode. That would be a great April Fool's live stream. What would be? The whole Raid Shadow Legends thing? 5 a.m. dad joke. Arnold Schwarzenegger has been casted in biopic as a composer. In an interview, he said, "I'll be beach." I don't care who makes the next Donkey Kong. All I ask for is David Wise to come back again. Please. Please, Nintendo! Fair. I miss the Kremling, says Vacuum Blank. Yeah, we were kind of talking about that a little earlier. Like, it's been 30 years since the last Donkey Kong. Well, okay. Since the last mainline Donkey Kong game with Kremlings in it. Well, not quite 30 years. I guess the last one would have been Donkey Kong 64. Oh no! And that was only what? When was that? When did that come out? 98 or 9? 2000? Somewhere around that time frame. Well, earlier DK does do something similar with the bonus coins, but you're right. It's more similar to how the Yoshi games do it. Yeah, I love that. Like, such a good completion reward. Croc did it that way. Loved that. Mario World kinda did. With the special world and all that. Though that was less a completion thing and more just find the secret exit, which in fairness, in the original Super Mario World, there really wasn't more of a completion bonus than that. Completion bonus, completion criteria. In the Game Boy Advance version, they added the counter, or the, like, actually keeping track of the dragon coins you find. And I loved that. A shame it's on only the Game Boy Advance version, though. Oh my. Okay. Alright, don't drop the ball here, Jeff. Wham! Let's go. Let's go! Hey, Solar Flare, welcome back. Jeff, if you have two friends and they disagree, right? So when one friend learns the other respectfully disagrees, they raid his Discord server and repeatedly tell him to kill himself. What would you do? If you have two friends and they disagree, when one friend learns the other respectfully disagrees, they raid his Discord server and repeatedly tell him to kill himself. What would you do? Well, I guess, I'm guessing you're speaking from personal experience here, Solar Flare. I don't know if I would outright ban him without asking him to cut it out first. And if he doesn't, like, give him a warning or two and then just bring down the ban hammer if it comes to it. Jeff, can you believe we're already getting snapshots for a new Minecraft update? I barely know what happened in the last one. But I'm sure that's exciting. No, this is totally a hypothetical. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Ooh, you've got a TV set up in your room. Nice. Very nice. Not bringing back the Kremlings is one thing, but I don't get why they don't bring back other enemies like Zingers and Naughties. Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about those guys. You're watching Impractical Jokers? I don't know what that is, but I hope you're having fun. Mugly's Mound. Oh, if I remember right, this guy is Mugly. Mugly's certainly a word for it. Make them fight to the death, says Jordan. Yeah, he comes into the Discord chat. Kill yourself! No, you! And then just fighting ensues. It's a very famous show. I feel like I've heard the title, but I don't really know what it is. I also miss when DK's island looked like his head, says J to the P Moreno. Me too! That was fun. Sorry for the inconvenience, Jeff, but were you able to read my last comment? I might have missed it. I'm sorry, Brainpick. Let me pause here. Well, hang on. I'll get back to your comment after this boss fight, dude. Sorry for the wait. Boink. Man, he didn't die after 3 hits. Oh, he's angry. He's angrified. Is it 3 hits to get him to the next stage? Sorry, dude, like, you're trying to kill me. There we go. Ooh, I just tried something. I just noticed, oh my. I just noticed that you can use either the analog stick or the D-pad in this game. And that might seem like an obvious thing, right? Like, you would think, well, yeah, duh, of course. Like, why wouldn't you be able to use either the D-pad or the joystick? That's so obvious. The 3DS version does not allow that. It's one or the other, and they lock the button combos to each version. So, like, if you want to play with, like, L and R controls, use the circle pad. If you want to use the X and Y, use the D-pad. Oh, that's so unbelievably dumb. Yay, I did it! I only hit him once, so let's try to do better next time. One thing I'm not fond of in the Retro DKC duology is that you have to press the jump button exactly when you land on an enemy. In the Rare DKC trilogy, you could just hold the jump button. Oh, fair. That's fair. I can definitely see that criticism, and I didn't even realize that. Brainpick says, oh, and Jeff, now that the Switch 2 was officially released, I think you mean revealed, it seems that the Mexican company that leaked it a week ago did post actual pictures of the console. Basically, they weren't fake. Yeah, agreed. I'm gonna talk about that a little later. Don't worry, Brainpick, I will get to that. I have a section planned where I'm going to talk about my thoughts about the Switch 2. Me and Dad were playing on our hardcore world tonight. 300 days we've survived now. Almost a full year, Ethan. That's crazy. Actually, he's kind of cute in an ugly way, says JP. Yeah, like when he flutters, he kind of is cute. The frame rate drops a lot in this boss fight, says Vacuum Blank. I feel bad I didn't really even notice. I guess I was just so focused. Not gonna lie, I prefer Retro's version of DK Island. I felt underwhelmed by the OG game's world progression. I think that JP is... Oh yeah, that's right. It was DK. DK had shaped in the original Donkey Kong Country. I forgot about that. Rob Paulson kind of has a distinctive voice. I never seen anybody do a perfect Raphael impression. Yeah, seriously. There's just some things that you can't replicate in this world, and Rob Paulson is one of them. Queso is so fat he did an earthquake in Hong Kong by 1 foot steps, says SKL. Poor Queso. Doesn't help that he leans into the fat jokes though. That's partially on him. Although I think he kind of enjoys it in a way. He thinks they're funny. So it's all in good fun, I guess. You know, JP, talking about the whole Donkey Kong Island, or the Kong Island looking like DK's head, I feel like that was the most fleshed out in the 64 game. Like, the 64 has a lot of problems, obviously, but it's got that going for it. I thought that was fun. Like, not only from an aesthetic standpoint, but it actually made it kind of interesting to explore. And the fact that you could just explore it, that was fun. Hello? Okay, maybe that's just introducing me to the mechanic? Question mark? Vacuum Blink says, I'm fat and I laugh at myself every day, says Vacuum Blink. Well, as long as you've got like a healthy sort of, you know, perception of yourself, that's what really matters. And if you're healthy. Obviously being healthy is good. Ooh, interesting level, interesting character design. Is this something like, oh, okay. I was gonna say, could I like use that to beat them or something? I don't know. Jordan says, this brings me back to our co-op run of DKC, right? Yeah, I missed that. Like, when we were, we had to do it over Parsec. Jordan and I here, we were playing through DKC 2 at one point together. And that was a lot of fun. We never did end up finishing it. But we were having fun doing the co-op. I really enjoyed it. Would be nice to go back and do it again. Hello. Oh boy, this is a timed thing. What? How was I supposed to get all of those? Ow. I have a feeling that was for a puzzle piece too. Oh, jeepers. Ah, no. We should continue with DKC 2. We should, Jordan. We should. And now that I've actually played through the whole game, now I won't stink. Or stink as badly as we did. I guess those crab enemies are a little bit less fun just because they take a little extra time to beat. It's not the extra hit, it's the fact that you have to, like, consciously jump on them, then land next to them, then roll. It's interesting for sure. I guess I'm just not having as much fun with it as I initially made it seem. If you're fat but you can make good money, go ahead, says Chris. I will say the music in Tropical Freeze is way better, says Vacuum Blank. Oh man, the music in Tropical Freeze was so darn good. Hey, I would... Oh no! I wanted that banana bunch! There we go. do you not swim in this game? Like, just seeing these water sections kind of makes me think, like, they don't want me going in the water, do they? Is there a secret up there? I feel like that is a prime candidate for a secret. Hey, Jeff, I'm tired. What do I do? Well, you can choose to go to bed, or if you want to stick around for the stream, go for a light jog around your house a couple of times. That'll get your blood running. I'd like to play DKC 3 one day. It's the only DKC I haven't played outside of Return, says DV. Yeah, I haven't played that one either. It sounds like I may be missing out, question mark? Aw, yeah, the beach! Seabreeze Cove and Tropical Freeze is better, though. Not even the underwater stages, just the way the beaches looked in that game. Says J-Dog. I forget what exactly the beaches looked like in that game. Man, I want to go back and play Tropical Freeze so bad. Like, I gotta have a good reason to do it. Other than just, like, it's a good game and I want to play it again. Like, honestly, that just means I should live stream the game at some point. That would definitely give me the incentive I need to, you know, go back and play it again. And it's not like I don't want to go back and play these games in my off time. I would love to, but like, what off time, first of all? And second of all, I've got a bunch of other games that I really ought to play first. Like, I just bought a PlayStation 5 and 5 different games for it. That has only added to my backlog. So, yeah. Unless I'm live streaming the game and it's... Or it's part of my backlog, I probably won't be playing it for a while. So I'm missing 3 puzzle pieces. I know one of them I have a feeling one of them was from that whale section where I had to, like, collect all those bananas and yeah, that just wasn't happening. Is there something over there? Nope. Well, it's my favorite one, says Aurora. Yeah, it would be cool to try it sometime. Oh, wait, hang on. Ah! Well, that's at least one mystery that's solved now. Hey, not to bother you, but you missed my comment. All right, give me 1 second. I gotta get through this challenge stage first. Oh, no! In the DK minecart ride at Universal, the music that plays is a new remix of Gear Getaway, the Rocket Barrel theme. Ooh, cool. SKL says, I know I already said this, but I took tests for signs of being a part of... Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Also, heterosexual means straight, just in case that was confusing for anybody. In the DK minecart ride at Universal. Oh, I already read that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play this level again. I mean, not only just because I messed up on that minigame, but, yeah, that whole whale banana part. The whale banana part! That's not a sentence I thought I would utter today, but here we are! Hey, can I ask you for an advice? I don't want to sound arrogant, so I'm chatting with you on Discord. Says Chris. Yeah, you can. And I don't know if I can necessarily offer the best wisdom or anything, but I'll try my best. Yeah, feel free to send me a DM. Pew. Okay, at least I have another chance to try this, I guess. Alright, let's try it again. You know, that is one nice thing about these Donkey Kong games here, is that, it does remember the, items that you got from your last playthrough of it. So, you know, when I come back for that last puzzle piece, I really only have to get the, one puzzle piece that I missed. And that'll be nice. I don't know if it works that same way for the Kong letters, but as of yet, I've gotten all of them so far. So I'm gonna plan on continuing to do so. Could you read my comment about the music when you have time? Sure, 1 second. Let me try and finish the level first. Should be able to do that in relatively short order if I focus. Oh, well, that went well. There we go. Should have been able to do it last time, but I thought that there was going to be a secret. Alright. I think with the Kong letters, you have to collect them all in one go from what I remember, says DV. Okay, thank you. J-Dog says, yeah, my one big complaint with DKC Returns is the music is kind of mid. It had occasional bangers, but a lot of it fades into the background. Yeah, that's fair, and Tropical Freeze definitely didn't have that problem. Returns here, I feel like they tried to harken back to the original, especially in the first level, and I don't mind that. I like the music, but like you said, it kind of does have a way of fading back into the background. I wonder if we can finish this world tonight. I don't know. I've got about a half hour left before I want to start, you know, talking about some other stuff. We'll see what we can do. This is only the first level of this world, so I'm kind of doubtful. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, agreed. It's not bad. It just exists. Yeah. Yeah, and again, like, I like it. It just, yeah, like you said, it kind of just fades in the background a little bit. So how am I supposed to get all these? What the heck? How? Alright, hang on. I'm gonna use the squawks for this just to make sure I don't waste all my time. So that's the record, guys. I beat the level 30 seconds before I started it, Jeff 2022. Yeah. Oh, Yoshi's Island DS. You certainly gave us some special moments, you did. Tropical Freeze saw the grand return of David Wise, says Juan Pablo Moreira. Welcome to the stream, Juan. And yeah, heck yeah. David Wise is a legendary composer. He did such a good job. Welcome to the stream. How would Jeff react if Boshi was a skin for Yoshi in Mario Kart 9? Oh, I would love it. I would probably make a video on it, or maybe like a short video. I feel like that sort of thing would be worthwhile to make note of. Have you seen Sonic Movie 3, says J to the P Moreno. I have. I don't remember if it was release week. Oh, it's in here somewhere. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm glad I used squawks because that puzzle piece was not where I thought it was going to be. Anyway, yes, I have seen the Sonic Movie 3. I don't want to get into spoiler territory, but yeah, had a good time watching it. My son has really gotten into Sonic lately, and it's funny because what's cute is that he asked for Mario and Sonic to be on his birthday cake this year, and I don't have that artistic talent. I made a Yoshi cake for myself one year, but Yoshi, comparatively, is easy to draw, and especially when it comes to, like, frosting art. Well, it was still quite difficult, but I managed. Mario and Sonic, I don't think that's happening for me. But, ooh, you know, maybe I should get JJ, Mario, and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I think he would love that for his birthday. It's coming up in a couple of weeks here. What if they no longer allowed you to pick your color, Yoshi color in Mario Kart? Says Aurora. And Food says, I'd quit Mario Kart. Fair enough. You know, before the DLC in the original Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, choosing a different color Yoshi or Shy Guy was not an option. That's one of the things that got me to buy the DLC. Because you guys know me, I don't usually like DLC. So, that's what got me to buy it. Colored Yoshis. And yes, you can respond in the stream, says Chris. I may respond after the stream. Yeah, I think I'll reach back out to you after the stream, and we'll have a discussion. Here's some major spoilers for Sonic Movie 3 Elvis reference. But yeah, the Sonic Movie 3, I thought it was a lot of fun. Heavily, like, I don't see this as being much of a spoiler because the trailers obviously show Shadow. But the story is kind of based off of the Sonic Adventure 2 battle game storyline. And I will say that if you're a fan of Shadow, or you even like Shadow remotely, I think you'll enjoy the movie. I liked it quite a bit. Had a lot of fun. There weren't quite as many dumb things as there were in Sonic Movie 2, so... yeah, I'd say it was definitely a step up from that. Juan says, funnily, different colored Shy Guys already were a thing in DS and 7, but online for wireless play, Lamau. Oh, true. I remember that. I do remember that little functionality in at least Mario Kart 7. Like, I played a lot of Mario Kart 7 multiplayer with a couple of friends in my high school. Like, there were only like 6 or 7 of us maybe that got 3DSs. And we would carry them around with us between classes and get the street passes from each other. That was a magical time. I miss that. But I was on the golf team with one of them. And on our way to the golf matches or even just golf practices, we'd sit in the back of the school bus and just play Mario Kart 7 together on the way there. It was awesome. I miss those days, in honesty. Imagine you can only switch a different color Yoshi behind a paywall, says Chris. That's pretty much what happened in Mario Kart 8. So when the deluxe version came out on the Switch, let's just say I was pleased that that was part of the base deluxe game. Yeah, I saw it too. The story in Sonic 3 is a lot more focused, and there's less screen time for the main humans, says JP. Oh yeah, that's something I hadn't even considered. Maybe that's part of the reason I liked it better. It's not that I hate the humans in that game or anything, but definitely not a highlight. Not for me, anyway. It's wild that Mario Kart 9 is 24 racers. You know, I realized that the track scene just looks bigger, and it goes out far. What if tracks from now on are way bigger in scale? This will be awesome, says J-Dog. Definitely looking forward to seeing more details for it. Absolutely. Until then, I am afraid that I don't really have too much to say on Mario Kart 9. 24 racers at once will be means the roster will be banger, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, probably, maybe. At least as good as, at least as good as the, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Hopefully less baby characters, though. Or at least less of a focus on them, I guess. There's so many. And, you know what's wild that I just thought of? How is it that we got Baby Rosalina before we got Baby Bowser? I know we have Bowser Jr. I know that, but like, if we can have like 4 different versions of Mario, can't we have like 4 different versions of Bowser? I feel like that's warranted. Like, I'm talking Baby Bowser. I'm not talking Bowser Jr. Very different beasts. Well, okay, not that different, but they are different to some extent. All 5 babies are returning, lol, says Juan. Oh boy. Ah, well. I remember 64DS has a multiplayer mode where everyone's colored Yoshi collecting stars. Yep. I'm just glad it's Mario Kart 9 and not Nintendo Kart, lol, says J to the P Moreno. Yeah, that's a good thought for sure. I hope Mario Kart 9 brings back some of the sort of mission mode like DS had. Oh, I loved that DV. I loved that so much in Mario Kart DS. I spent an unreasonable amount of time playing Mario Kart DS as a kid, and that was absolutely one of the major reasons why. Like, the mission mode was so much fun. Like, I have always been a, I'm just finding the K now. Anyway, I was always more of a single-player gamer. And I very much enjoyed the single-player content in that game. Plus, if I remember right, Mario Kart DS was the first Mario Kart game where you could play battle mode without actually playing with anybody in general. You could just play with all CPUs. I don't know if Double Dash did anything like that. I didn't play Double Dash, sadly. I am under the impression that I'm missing out. But it is what it is. And at the very least, Mario Kart DS is the first Mario Kart game I played that had the CPUs available in the battle modes. Honestly, any sort of adventure would be, a mode like Crash Team Racing would be nice. That too, DV, that would be awesome. Just more single-player content for these Mario Kart games would be awesome, like they used to do. I would love that. Great ideas. Yeah, got it. With a banger roster, I mean something as good as Super Sluggers. Admittedly, I love that roster for all the DK reps this one. Fair enough. I didn't play those, but yeah, I have heard that the roster is pretty good. The one thing Mario Karts have been lacking is a story adventure mode. I hope they finally do that, says JP. Yeah, like DV said, and like I responded to DV, totally agreed. That would be awesome. Or even something like Diddy Kong Racing. Like, it's not really a true story mode per se, but it's more than just the racing. I always loved Diddy Kong Racing for that. Man, I forgot how fun this game is. I don't think it's as good as Tropical Freeze. Like, I played the first, like, 2 or 3 levels of Tropical Freeze last night after when I was collecting footage for Donkey Kong Country Returns. And I did not want to stop playing it. I was like, you know, I played the first 3 levels like I did the other ones, or like the other versions of Donkey Kong Country Returns, and I was just like, do I really have to stop playing? Like, can I just keep going? And then I thought, well, if I want to record all the different versions I can of DKC Returns, I probably should stop at some point. I've been playing Tropical Freeze for over half an hour. What if Baby Yoshi from Paper Mario replaces both Baby Rosalina and Baby Daisy? At least he's from a video game, a great one at that, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. That's a good idea. And what if you could name him whatever you wanted? Oh, I found everything. I was like, I felt like I was missing like a whole bunch of stuff. Oh man, I stink. Earlier you missed me saying this, sorry J-Dog, but I noticed that Mario and Luigi look a little like their N64 renders. In fact, Bowser and Wario looked like their Mario Kart 64 counterparts. Interesting point, J-Dog. Interesting. Tropical Freeze is actually my favorite DKC game, followed by DKC 2, says Swan. Understandable. Man, Tropical Freeze was a delight. Oh, I love that game. And again, I want to stream it sometime. Maybe not right after this, but I don't know. If you guys would like to see more Donkey Kong after I finish this up, maybe. I will post a poll in the Discord when we get closer to finishing this game. Let's have Baby Yoshi and Baby Wario in Wario Kart. Yeah, there you go. And again, like, Baby Wario was in fact in a game. There's Yoshi's Island DS. At least he has more precedent than Baby Rosalina and Baby Daisy. Oh, right. Yeah. He's like, what? That's Stompies. Oh boy. I remember not caring particularly fondly for these. Caring fondly, wow, good English there, Jeff. Doop-a-doo-doo. Admittedly, it is fun, though. I just remember them being frustrating, too. Goodness, does it feel good to have, like, a version of this game that I can just play with regular controls. I don't think that this was waggle controls. I think that would be ridiculous in the Wii version, but oh, it feels so good just to play this with a normal controller. Cannot tell you how much of a game changer that is. Like, yeah, this game doesn't look particularly impressive. I would have been much happier if they, like, brought it up to what Tropical Freeze looks like. Though I'm aware that at that point, that would be like, you know, an asset remake, essentially, like the Metroid Prime game. The Metroid Prime remaster on the Switch. So, I know that would be a lot of effort. But man, like, I'm decently happy with this. But think about how much of a difference that would have made if they had, like, the fur textures and, like, just in general had everything look more like Tropical Freeze. That would have been awesome. But I'm not gonna complain. I'm much more of a function over form kind of guy. And certainly I think that this is acceptable. The price might not be, but the game itself I am happy enough with. So far. I may change my mind, but I highly doubt it. How was the rocket barrel controlled on Wii? I think it was just the jump button. That's all it was in this game. I missed, how did I? All right, we're gonna do this again. It'd be funny if they introduced Baby Waluigi, since they gave the Princess Baby forms introduced in Mario Kart. Yeah, I mean, Nintendo hates Waluigi, I'm telling you. But yeah, no, I think that the Wii version did just control with the jump button. I suggest that Nintendo should add more interesting characters than babies, though, but we'll see. I agree. Honestly, like, the Mario series has such a varied and wide breadth of characters that they could pull from. Heck, pull some obscure characters from the RPG games. Like, you know what I'd love to see is Prince Peasley from Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, or Professor Egad from the Luigi's Mansion games. Or Fawful, or like anybody from well, I guess Paper Mario would be hard to make it work because, well, I mean, they probably could do it. I don't know, but yeah, to your point, there could definitely be some way more interesting characters that they could pull from. Okay, how did I miss a puzzle piece? Where did I miss the puzzle piece? Please no baby Pauline. Yeah, no, please. We don't need that. Okay. Again, where am I missing that puzzle piece? Do I just need to do a better job of getting all the bananas here? I guess I probably should use squawks. Okay, there was a puzzle piece there, but I got that one and that one. Oh, is it? No, it's not here. Do I need to get all the bananas here? No. Yeah, again, I missed it again. I didn't find it. keep getting bananas. The Koopalings have too many characters already if they want to add them too. Yeah, honestly, I feel like the... Thought I heard something. Anyway, I feel like the best way to handle the Koopalings would probably be to like have them be different skins for Baby Bowser, or Bowser Jr. rather. Kind of like Yoshi and Shy Guy, or like Bowser Jr. in Super Smash Bros. I always wonder if it's because of relevancy or studios who make their RPGs are the reasons that they don't add those RPGs characters. I think they just prefer using mainline stuff, with exceptions being Yoshi and DK characters like Dixie Kong and Poochie and Tour. Oh, Poochie, that's awesome. Yeah, we're gonna use Squawks here and then we're gonna go buy some more of them. I could maybe see Baby Wario since they made a 3D model for him, the now discontinued Dr. Mario world. Which always really felt random to me, says Juan. Yeah, again, there is some precedent for Baby Wario, but only because he was in Yoshi's Island DS. Tropical Freeze made me fall in love with rain. Enough said, J-Dog. Okay. Are you kidding me? Right at the beginning here, huh? Hate it when like Squawks helps me find like the most obvious thing. Maybe not so obvious. How about Baby DK? Yeah, that's an option too. But for Pete's sake, enough with all the baby characters. What? Oh no, I know what I needed to do. I can't just restart, can I? Hang on. Got an idea. If they can't get Goomba in Mario Kart, what chance does Geno have? Good point. Oh no, he doesn't go all the way over here. So what? Are you kidding me? Artusaurus. Artusaurus. I'm a little bit peeved about that, not gonna lie. Oh, whatever. Let's finish this level up and then go buy some Squawks and then we'll get out of here. And on with the rocket barrel blast! Interestingly enough, I feel like I did pretty well at this, but this is like early game still. Like World 2, it's not gonna be that challenging. I mean, it's still Donkey Kong Country Returns. Donkey Kong Country games do definitely have a higher caliber of difficulty than like standard platforming games do. It's not like it's easy peasy or anything, but it's not that hard yet. I have not played Sprunky Rito Chang, I'm sorry, but welcome to the stream. I don't know that I will play Sprunky, to be honest with you. I'm already up to 47 lives, and I think 99 is the max. Yarn Jeff. That's a lot of Jeffs. Good thing. Oh, ah! Sorry, I'm trying to read comments here while I'm driving. Probably not a good idea. Got a banana. Good thing they got rid of that mechanic. Oh yeah, the blowing mechanic. Yeah, not my favorite. Don't forget Pink Gold Jeff. Yeah, I can't forget that. What are you even doing if you don't have a Pink Gold Jeff? Excuse me. Alright, well, let's go buy some squawks and then we'll exit the gameplay here. Come on in. Oh, hey, JJ.
Hi.
You need to be sleeping, bud.
No.
Yeah. You gotta go back to sleep, bud. Alright, give me a few minutes, bud. Okay, I wasn't going crazy. I heard JJ. I heard him awake. I'll need a couple minutes here after I buy some squawks. I wish I could just buy more of them. Like, buy more of them at once, I mean to say. That should be enough. I don't really... Wait a minute. Yeah, I need that key.
Oh, sure. Take the easy way out.
Yeah, I'm sure I want to exit the shop.
Keep an eye out for large marine life. Some of those guys can get testy.
Nah, that was just cute, you talking to JJ. Hope he's okay. Yeah, I think he's having fun watching me play this game. Right, bud? Yeah, he doesn't even seem tired at this point. It's 1 a.m. and JJ's just sitting at the top of the stairs watching me play Donkey Kong. They even referenced DK's blowing ability in the movie when he blew out the fire flower. Iconic callback. Yeah, I remember seeing that. What, bud? Well, I'd better try and put JJ back to sleep, guys. So, yeah, enjoy this this pleasant Yoshi's Woolly World music, and I will be back. Hey, I'm back. Not sure if he's actually gonna stay asleep or not, but yeah, I figured I didn't want to spend too much more time putting him to sleep. Still, hope you enjoyed that lovely music. Yeah, I think we need to go ahead and wrap up the gameplay portion here. So we're gonna go ahead and quit out. What percentage are we at? Welcome back. Thanks, DV. And welcome to the stream, El Guapo Dad. Hey, Jeff, just hopping in for a little while, so hi. Hope you enjoyed the New Year's and the game. Heck yeah, I did, and am. And I hope you did too. Okay, let's go ahead and see what percentage I'm at. 13%. Not bad. And I've accumulated 47 lives. That's it's pretty crazy if you think about it. Alright, so with that all said, we're gonna go ahead and stop the recording here. Okay. So I don't know exactly how I want to go about this. We're gonna go ahead and switch the input over here to my computer monitor. There we go. And again, I'm not really sure how I want to show this off, but as I kind of alluded to during the stream, I took some recordings of the various versions of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, and I want to try and pull them up here. I don't know if I'm really going to be able to do a good job of that. So here's what I'm going to try and do. Again, I don't know how well this will actually come through. Let's try and pull up my footage. Game footage. Alright, so I'm going to pull up my recording of the last 2 hours of Donkey Kong Country Returns here. Here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up the Wii version first. Well, I'm going to pull up the HD version first. And we'll try and like switch back and forth a little bit here. Okay. Sorry about this, guys. I know this is... On screen is Donkey Kong, Yoshi Mario, Mario says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Okay. So, here's what I think I'm gonna do. Let's switch over to the PC screen. And here you can see my gameplay from Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Kind of just standing there. I think I'm just talking during the stream. That's from a little bit ago here. But this is what Donkey Kong Country Returns HD looks like. Versus... Here's the Wii version. So let's go ahead and switch screens there. There's DKC on the Switch. There's DKC on the Wii. It's definitely cleaner. I will note that I was using my Wii U for HDMI output for the Wii game, so I'm aware that it won't look as good as like an HDMI modded Wii, but it is still the 480p output. It's roughly what the Wii version will look like. So again, just for comparison's sake, here's the HD version on the Switch. Well, the title doesn't lie, it's HD alright. It also looks a bit brighter, I think. Again, that could simply just be my capture from the Wii U. Here, we're gonna go back to the level again. Yeah, again, that could just be my capture. But the Wii version definitely looks a little bit duller. So why don't we go ahead and pull up what the 3DS version looks like? Sorry, I know this is taking a bit. To be sorted, returns 3D. Here we go. So here, yeah, I'm a dirty pirate. Here is the 3DS version. The stream turned into Wii versus Switch compared, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. I suppose it did, didn't it? So here's the here's the Switch version. And here's the 3DS version. Very, very obvious differences. Very, very obvious. I did capture this at 240p on Citra emulator. Definitely got that 3DS jagginess. Yeah, it does. The 240p from the 3D screen. Yeah. The 3DS has some charms to it, says Chris. Oh yeah, absolutely it does. Absolutely. But yeah, again, just compare, contrast. That's pretty much the extent of that comparison. Though if you're willing to go the emulation route, as I am, here's the kind of picture that you can get from the 3DS version of Donkey Kong Country Returns. Again, let's go back a little earlier in the level, try and get a better comparison here. So there's the 3DS version jacked up to 960p. There's the Switch version at 1080p, I believe. 3DS version at 960p upscaled. Switch version. I am not a pixel peeper, so there may very well be some attentions to detail that are missing from the Wii version that are not in the HD version. You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a TV. You wouldn't steal a movie. Piracy is illegal. Piracy is stealing. Yeah. You won't see the jaggedness if you played with the original hardware. You still would. It just wouldn't be quite as obvious. Would anybody be crazy enough to put this game on N64 or DS? Maybe. I mean, someone put Bloodborne on N64. Alright, one last comparison I want to do. Clearly, the HD version on the Switch is the cleanest looking, but again, there may be some attentions to detail that were present in the Wii that maybe it looked better in the Wii version. I don't know. But all I know is I like how the remaster looks. And again, I'm not a pixel peeper. If you disagree with me, that's perfectly fine and valid. But here's something that I don't think you'll disagree with. Let's go back to the 3DS version, just so I can pull this up here. No matter what version of Donkey Kong Country Returns you play, it is not going to have much on Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Holy cow. That game just hits different. It really does. Again, DKC Returns. Let's go back. DKC Returns. DKC Tropical Freeze. It's not quite night and day, but it's pretty obvious that DKC Tropical Freeze has some more visual fidelity and visual flair to it than Returns does. And it's kind of an unfair comparison because, again, this is the sequel to Donkey Kong Country Returns. Of course it's going to look better. It's on the Wii U, Nintendo's first HD console. They're gonna put more legwork into it. And it's not like Returns looks bad. I want to be clear here. I don't think it looks bad. I just think Tropical Freeze looks better. And I do kind of wish that they had put a little bit more effort into bringing Country Returns up to Tropical Freeze's standard. It might be a little bit of an unreasonable ask, but I think that would have been awesome. What model would they use for DK in an N64 version? Because DK has a lot different models on the 64. I would think the Donkey Kong 64, right? Locations in Tropical Freeze are also a lot more varied and interesting, says JP. Agreed. I noticed that while I was playing it last night for the footage. Like, I think the levels are longer, but they have a lot more going for them. Like, just in this section, we've got the water section that you can swim in. We had the normal jungle scene. We got this giant tree to climb up. Like, I was kind of amazed at just how varied. Like, this is all in the same level. I haven't skipped to a new level or anything. Gosh, Tropical Freeze hits different. There's so much green in Returns. I wonder if that's why they went with, like, more of a snowy island aesthetic for, I wonder if that's why they went for a more snowy island aesthetic for Tropical Freeze, just to give it some more variety. I don't know, but man, it looks fantastic. And I know I've said this a couple times, but I do want to reiterate, Returns looks good. It's just not Tropical Freeze. DV says, I wouldn't consider the Wii and HD versions to look too different, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Like, I think it was JP who mentioned that that the Wii version of Donkey Kong Country Donkey Kong Country Returns is the basis for the HD remaster. And I think that was the right call for sure. Most drastic change from Wii to Switch. DK isn't red anymore. Oh. I don't know if I translate it right, but she says, please show us your donkey spirit. Oh, very cool. Sorry, I can't read most of that because most of it's in kanji. Scientists confirm that 99% of the Yoshi Fanatic fans have insane Riz, says SKL. Alright, well, I think that is quite enough of our Donkey Kong Country Returns graphics comparison. I think you get the idea. It's like, again, it looks good. You can see they give like Donkey Kong and a little bit more of like a fur sort of texture on his model, but it looks nothing like Tropical Freeze. I'll say that. Like, take a look at the model in Tropical Freeze. Look at that. Again, I just want to compare. Look at the difference between these two. Night and day, dude. I think that just speaks to how good Tropical Freeze is, not that DKC Returns is bad. I know I've said that a lot. I just don't want you guys to take the wrong lesson from what I'm saying here. I just think Tropical Freeze is on a whole other level. It truly is. Reminds me of what most Yoshi fans say. Crafted World is fine, but it's no Woolly World, lol, says JP. Hey, hi, I am also one of those fans that says exactly that. Though in fairness, I think in my Yoshi's Crafted World versus Woolly World video, I went into it pretty unbiased and fair. I think I did a pretty good job of that. Kimi no Donki Damashi o Misite Kure. Oh, very cool. Thank you, Chris. The 1% of the Yoshi Fanatic fans have close to no Riz and are the least likely to get a girlfriend, says a scale. Oh, dear, man. This and the jump from Mario Kart 7 to Mario Kart 8 are insanely impressive graphics-wise, says DV. Yeah, I think when Nintendo first had put out their Wii U, they were really pushing the fact that it was their first HD console, their first console with an HDMI output, and they wanted you to know. Like, they definitely pushed that, and rightfully so. I'm ChatGPT, though, because I don't know some of the kanji like Damashi. Yeah, that's fair, Chris. Honestly, there's so many kanji, it's hard to keep track. I feel like not even all Japanese people know all of the kanji. Get Mario Kart 9 or I'll break your spine, says SKL. Jeepers, that seems drastic. I probably will at some point, but I don't know about right at launch. I can only imagine how clean and colorful a new Donkey Kong game would look now, says JP. Honestly, if it looked as good as Tropical Freeze or even a little bit better, I'd be thrilled. Pretty sure this is one of the 2,000 kanji you have to learn, says Chris. Oh, fair. See, I didn't even know that there were straight up just a straight up number of kanji you need to know. 2,000 that's a lot. But I didn't get there yet, says Chris. Keep working on it. I know you'll get there. Okay. So, I think now would be a good time to start talking about the Switch 2, right? So I'm going to go ahead and close these out. And here we have the Switch 2. So why don't we go ahead and watch the trailer together? Just for funsies. Let's watch it together. Oopsie. Why I think if Nintendo made a Jeff 3D model in Mario style, they would make him the same as Diddy Kong. Like, as far as, like, movement is concerned. You have to know about 2200 kanji if you want to live in Japan. Here we are, the Switch 2. I'm not going to say much during this trailer just because... Yeah, again, I have a lot of things I want to say. Guys, the Switch got bigger. It's growing up. Look at my boy. I remember when he was knee-high to a 3DS. The Switch, but the screen is bigger. You know, I know at least one person said that they weren't a fan of this color aesthetic sort of choice. Oh man, I think it looks sleek. It's like the Switch 1, but longer. Amazing! Thank God they're finally changing that flimsy kickstand. Yeah, I mean, they did it on the OLED version, but, you know, I doubt that most people have an OLED. Congratulations, your Switch has evolved into a bigger Switch in black! Congrats! Does the new Switch have infrared? Infinite aura? I don't know what that means. We might be getting a 1080p screen, but I don't expect much, says Chris. I think 1080p is reasonable to expect. That snap sounds so violent. Is that just me? Yeah. It's definitely more pronounced. 2025. We don't know when. Mario Kart! Ah, wow! It does look good. I noticed earlier today DK's new design. Yeah, that's been pointed out by quite a few people at this point. Guys, new Mario Kart. Exactly. Alright, well, we're gonna go ahead and transition here. Certainly a Switch 2. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, says SKL. So, Nintendo finally revealed the Switch 2. And I gotta say, it's about time. The leaks were going absolutely crazy, especially recently. I wanted to go into this with more excitement, more surprise. I first watched this yesterday morning. Well, Thursday morning for the people in the video. I first watched this in the morning, and I was just like, oh, I've seen this before. Like, Nintendo really did not get ahead of the leaks. There were so many leaks for this darn thing. We had a pretty good idea of what it looked like weeks prior, months prior, but no more notable of a showcase was shown than Genki at CES, the Consumer Electronics Showcase, at early January. They straight up showed like a 3D render of the Switch 2 to kind of showcase their accessories. Like, they're an accessory maker for video game consoles, as far as I can tell. And yeah, they just straight up showed a 3D render of the Switch. It wasn't confirmed or anything, obviously, but when we saw this trailer, it was pretty obvious. Genki definitely showed the Switch 2 a few weeks early. I don't know if that was like a PR stunt or if it was like get their names even more out there, be more notable, infamous, whatever. They are on more people's radar as a result. I guarantee that. But yeah, it kind of spoiled the surprise a little bit for the official announcement. I'm a little upset about that, but I think Nintendo probably should have just done a better job of getting ahead of it, to be honest with you. And given just how big the Switch is, it's at like 150 million copies sold or something at this point. It's not too shocking that there are so many people out there leaking the console. And, it's kind of analogous to how it was at the Switch 1, like previously or prior to its reveal. We had like a ton of leaks and rumors and all that. But this just felt more rampant. And like, we've seen rumors and leaks and stuff like that for Switch Pro and Switch 2 all the way through, like, since the console first came out, let's be honest. I've honestly been tired of the leaks and stuff for quite a while, but here we are, the official Switch 2 announcement. And yeah, let's talk about it. So I want to talk about the hardware. That's going to be like my main focus here. And I know I'm a little late to the party. I apologize for that. But I figured I'd give you my 2 cents. Throw a little bit of a Yoshi spin on it towards the end here. And, well, honestly, I think I'll be giving you my, 10 cents because I've got a lot to say about this thing. So why don't we start with the hardware? It really looks like Nintendo played it safe with this one, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. It basically just looks like a bigger, better Switch. Better is subjective, I know, but it kind of just looks like they're going for that vibe. It's the Switch, but bigger and better. Literally bigger. It looks like it's going to be like a 7.5 or 8 inch screen versus the Switch's like 6.1 inches or something like that. This looks like it's going to be a pretty beefy device as far as like pure size goes. Like, I think about how my Switch looks in my hand. You know what? Let me go grab that for a sec. Like, I think about how the original Switch looked in my hands. I'm just envisioning holding the Switch 2 in my hands like this, and it's like a good inch or two bigger. And I'm just thinking, like, the Switch was already a pretty good size. I'm pretty happy with this form factor. But I think that I will enjoy having a larger Switch. I think it's going to feel like, yeah, this feels right. I am looking forward to seeing what it feels like, how hefty it is. If it's too much, too cumbersome for like portable play, I don't really know. But I'm looking forward to finding out. It has a U-shaped kickstand now. The design of the kickstand has, well, I have an OG Switch here, and this little kickstand ain't doing much, I'll be honest. But they did improve the kickstand for the OLED model of the Switch, and this kind of looks like it's an iteration of that. It looks like it's got exactly the same sort of swivel and bend, like the same sort of range of motion that the Switch OLED's kickstand looks like. It just kind of looks like it uses more plastic, kind of more of an aesthetic choice, I suppose. It really doesn't look that different from an OLED's kickstand, except for just visually and less plastic, like I said. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good kickstand choice. I look forward to using it. I've never used a Switch OLED before, and I look forward to seeing what that's like. Couple small notes on the hardware, just before we really dive deep into the bigger stuff. There's a USB-C port on the top of the console now, and honestly, I feel like people have been looking for that feature for a while now. That seems like such a small thing, but I think the Steam Deck has it, and I think that I think it's just a good idea overall. Like, for those of you who have played the Switch in portable mode and tried to charge it, for example, you still have like the charger coming out the bottom. That is absolutely not ideal. And I think more significantly, it's going to make a difference for tabletop mode. You couldn't really charge the Switch in tabletop mode in the original configuration. It just wasn't really a thing you could do. Just realized something. Hang on. There you go. But yeah, like you couldn't really charge the Switch in tabletop mode. It sits on the bottom of the unit, obviously. Like you set it on a tabletop, the USB-C port is on the bottom. It's gonna be blocked, obviously, unless you have like a third-party stand from like Genki or something. I don't know. Not ideal. Now they have the USB-C port on the top. That's awesome. I do wonder if it's gonna be able to not dock per se, but if you could plug in a USB-C cable like and display out from that would make it interesting for like on the go situations, I guess. Not really like a huge factor. If it is, great. If it's not, that's fine. That's not a huge factor. I can't really imagine too many scenarios where you'd want to like dock it out of the top instead of the bottom. Like it's too much of a hassle to plug it into the bottom, so you plug it into the top. I just don't see that happening. Still though, love to see that. And the headphone jack too. With all these different like smartphone companies getting rid of headphone jacks and like wired earphones just feeling like they're antiquated or just going out of style or whatever, it's nice to see the headphone jack still here. It's not like the Switch 2 needs to have like a waterproof rating. That's not the kind of device that you're gonna want to take in the pool or anything like that, obviously. So headphone jack, it already had openings for the fan and all that, so yeah, you love to see it. I know I do anyway. I still use my wired headphones a decent amount. All right, let's talk about the Joy-Cons. So obviously they're newer, they're bigger. I love the fact that in this trailer that they put out, they showed the Joy-Cons getting bigger, but the buttons also got bigger. That's really good to see because the Switch's face buttons are pretty small. Like, just for comparison's sake, here's my DS. And this probably isn't a great demonstration, but you can kind of see how the face buttons on the DS are pretty much the same size as the Switch Joy-Cons buttons. They're small, and like, I've got small hands. It's not that big of a deal for me, but I always did enjoy the larger face buttons on the Switch Pro controller. These obviously won't be to that extent, but even just a little bit bigger will make a big difference, I think. Same with the joysticks too. They seem a little bit bigger as well. They're still Switch Joy-Con joysticks. They're not going to be like a full controller joystick. It's not going to be the same. But they do seem to be getting a little bigger, maybe a little bit deeper. Yeah, I think that the groove on the top is going to be a little deeper. So it'll be interesting to see how that feels. Of course, when we bring up Joy-Cons, we can't really ignore the fact that the existing Joy-Cons had all sorts of drifting issues. There was a lawsuit, in fact, and I'm sure all of you are aware of this, but there was a lawsuit over the Joy-Con situation, the drifting and all that. And I think that didn't really go our way per se in the final ruling. Like, we didn't really win versus Nintendo on that, so that kind of stinks. But at the very least, Nintendo has offered free repairs for Joy-Cons up through most of the generation for most regions, or at least the United States. I don't know if I can really speak to the rest of the regions, but you know, I had to send in my Joy-Cons once or twice to get repaired. I replaced a couple of my Joy-Cons joysticks with the Hall effect sensors. The what are they called? The Gully Kits? The Gully Kit joysticks that claim to never drift, and I found that that's not entirely true. I have had a little bit of drift issue on one of them, but I resync or recalibrate the joystick and it turns out fine. So I can't really complain. That said, I will note that they don't really have to be Hall effect sticks to not have drift. We had plenty of joysticks in the past that like were more resistant to joystick drift than the Switch's Joy-Cons are. It's not like Hall effect is the be all end all. You can make a better standard joystick. If it is Hall effect, great. But if they don't say that it's a Hall effect joystick, don't lose hope. It doesn't mean that it's going to drift immediately. Just have faith. Don't worry too much about it. I'd say like don't lose track of it. Don't let Nintendo go on it, obviously, but it will probably be fine. It will probably be better than the Switch at the very least. But we'll see. Now, something that they showed in the trailer and something I've heard rumored for a while is that these Joy-Cons are going to have like mouse capabilities. And as I'm watching the trailer here, it does look like there's like an optical sensor in the side of it next to like the Joy-Con electromagnet connection for connecting to the Switch itself. It does look like there's an optical sensor in there. And the way that they show the Joy-Cons kind of running around on the surface with the Joy-Con straps or whatever they're called, they looked very mouse-like. I think that was on purpose. They're probably showing that this thing is going to have compatibility with mouse controls, and I don't really know what that's gonna mean for the games or what they can do with it. But I will admit that's an interesting, I don't want to say gimmick. I think it's an interesting feature. And I think the first thing I can think of that you could do with that is easier ability to play like RTS games, real-time strategy, or like your grand strategies, your Civilization 6 and Warhammers and stuff like that. I think that it'll be a much easier time to play that on the Switch 2 than on the Switch 1, just because of that mouse sort of functionality. And it's not really confirmed one way or the other, but it very distinctly looks like they're trying to show mouse capabilities. That's pretty cool. It's like the Lenovo Legion Go has that. The handheld PC Lenovo Legion Go does have that feature where the controllers snap off the side just like a Switch does, and you can use the one as a mouse. It's cool that Nintendo's bringing that to a more mainstream device, I want to say. Like the Lenovo Legion Go is obviously more niche. It's a much more expensive device. There's not going to be as many people buying it. Whereas something like the Switch, where the price I think will be fairly accessible, especially compared to a Windows PC, the usability will be much more straightforward. I do look forward to seeing what the general masses will think of that kind of feature. I kind of mentioned earlier that there's an electromagnetic connection of the Joy-Cons to the Switch. Showing in the trailers, like the Joy-Con kind of snaps off the side of the Switch instead of sliding onto like a rail system. Like the existing Joy-Cons on the Switch, I'm sure you're well aware, have this rail system where it snaps into the place and is held by like a physical button sort of thing that kind of retracts as you hold the button on the back of the Joy-Con. And I never had a problem with that. I thought it worked, if not a little bit finicky at times, especially when you have newer Joy-Cons. But I have heard of scenarios where the rail and the mechanical connection kind of wear out. And I think that going electromagnets is a perfect idea, because magnets, I've read recently, hold their magnetism for essentially forever if you're caring for the magnet properly. Obviously, it's not forever, but like the article that I read said like under ideal conditions, a permanent magnet will lose like 1% of its magnetic capabilities in the course of like 100 years. I don't know if that same thing is going to hold true here, being electromagnets. I'd imagine that the electronics will wear out much faster. But I do think that it's going to be a fairly strong solution. And I think it'll last. I don't think that as many people are going to have as many issues with the Joy-Cons falling off here. The biggest thing that I could imagine happening is people accidentally hitting the button on the back of the Joy-Con to like disable the electromagnet. Like that's the biggest thing I can think of, but it looks like it's out of the way enough where you're not going to hit it on accident. So that's good. And it's interesting to note that the Joy-Con grip, like the dog face controller from the Switch 1, it looks like that Joy-Con grip is going to also have that electromagnetic connection. That's really cool. I like that a lot. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. And then the last thing to note about the Joy-Cons attaching to the Switch, there's a new sound effect that Nintendo is using for connecting your Joy-Cons to your Joy-Con grip or your Switch. Instead of a snap, it almost sounds more like a clap. Like, I've seen many people say, like, oh, that's a much chunkier, loud, kind of aggressive sounding snap. And I'm like, am I crazy for thinking it sounds like a clap? I'm pretty sure it's a clap. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think, but I think it sounds very much like a clap. Regardless of what kind of sound it's supposed to be, though, it's very satisfying. It's a nice big chunk instead of a snap. I don't know. I think that marketing is going to go really well for them. All right, let's move on to the screen. This is more in the speculation sort of territory. Well, I guess first let's start with the size of it. The bezel I'm not super impressed with. I think the screen could have filled out more of the body, similar to like what the OLED does, but it does look better than the original Switch. Like the original Switch's bezels on the screen are very chunky. This at least looks a little better than that. But I think that they could have made it even less bezel-y. It had a bigger screen to body ratio. Again, I point to the OLED as an example. I feel like that's like the golden standard at this point. But that also brings up another question. Is this screen going to be LCD like the original Switch, or is it going to be OLED like the Switch OLED, obviously? And I've heard rumors and leaks that it's going to be LCD, and I think that's realistic. I assume that they're going to go with an LCD screen just to keep the cost down. And I'll get back to cost in a little bit. I think they'll save OLED screen for a later iteration, kind of like what they did with the original Switch. I do think that's a realistic expectation to hold. So don't expect an OLED right out the gate. And, I'm kind of a, expect disappointment and you'll never be disappointed. So that's kind of my sort of mindset. I am expecting an LCD, and if it's OLED, I'll be very pleasantly surprised. And as far as resolution is concerned, the original Switch had a resolution of 720p on its screen. And I'm expecting that, well, one, being 8 years newer, and two, being like an inch or two larger, I am 100% expecting that this screen will be 1080p. If it's not, that's a downright shame. But I have a little bit of faith here. I think that they are going to make this a 1080p screen. And in 2025, come on, don't give us 720p. It's got to be 1080, right? I hope so. But I guess we'll see when they reveal more information later. Now we're going to get a little bit further into speculation territory. Obviously, Nintendo didn't talk about internals here or specs or any of that stuff. We're still left in the dark with what kind of performance can we expect out of this thing. There have been a number of leaks, though, and I want to kind of talk about what the current leaks suggest as far as the internals. So the current leaks are saying that the CPU is an ARM Cortex A78C with 8 cores. I will note that the original Switch, its CPU, or its chip, the NVIDIA Tegra X1, is an 8-core chip. But something important to remember is that had an iGPU, as in integrated graphics. Both the CPU and the GPU were on the same chip, sharing the same cores. It didn't have hyperthreading, so it was 8 cores only and 8 threads. So Yeah, I'm expecting that separating the CPU and GPU into two separate chips, you're going to see a pretty solid performance gain just from that, to be honest. Moving on to the GPU, again, the current leak says that it's an NVIDIA T239 Ampere, and an Ampere is the name Ampere is the name of the architecture that the NVIDIA RTX 30 series desktop graphics cards uses. So I wouldn't expect like 3060 performance or anything like that. Current leaks are saying that it's probably going to be roughly equivalent to a 2050. It doesn't have as many CUDA cores as a 3060, for example. So it's going to be like a cut down Ampere sort of architecture. Still, a 2050, an RTX 2050 performance, I think that that's pretty solid, honestly. Considering that the existing Switch, the original Switch, really struggles in some games graphically. I think I had heard like 1650 for equivalent graphics card, but I highly doubt even that. I do think that this is going to be quite the performance bump, given that it's Ampere technology, roughly equivalent to 2050. I think we can expect a pretty solid jump. And then the RAM, it looks like it's going to be 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM versus the 4 gigabytes of LPDDR4 RAM in the original Switch. So that's not only is it 3 times more RAM, but it's also a generation newer. So that's quite a bit better. And finally, storage. The current leaks or rumors are suggesting 256 gigabytes for onboard storage, which doesn't sound like a lot. It really isn't in 2025. But, you know, it's better than the 32 gigabytes we got on the original Switch. I'll say that. And I'm pretty sure there will be SD card support. I don't remember reading that anywhere, but it kind of just makes sense, especially for a mobile thing. But yeah, that's what we're hearing as far as like the internal specs of the thing, as far as the leaks are concerned. I don't expect that Nintendo will go as into depth as all that. In fact, they still don't list their amount of RAM for the original Switch on Nintendo's website, so I wouldn't expect them to be super forthcoming, but I think you can expect a pretty solid jump here. Some people are saying that they're expecting a PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 4 Pro performance. I think PlayStation 4 is reasonable. And I think that would honestly be like really good case scenario for the Switch 2 here. A portable PS4, essentially, that's awesome. And considering that we're kind of starting to hit a ceiling as far as like how good graphics are getting, like we're seeing more frames, we're seeing ray tracing, we're seeing all that kind of stuff. But when the layperson, like myself, looks at a video game screen, sometimes being on console especially, sometimes I struggle to see the difference between like 30 frames per second and 60. I mean, when I see 60, it's obvious, but I don't know, like 30 frames per second I'm used to, and I'm not a pixel peeper. I don't really look for anti-aliasing, and like I'm not a stickler for ray tracing versus rasterized graphics. I think I'm going to be pretty pleasantly, well, pleased with how the Switch 2 looks, if it's anything like a PlayStation 4. And I do want to note that it's not going to be like an apples to apples comparison between something like a PlayStation 4, for example. Especially with modern advancements in NVIDIA's software, we can expect to see something like DLSS or deep learning super sampling algorithms for Nintendo's NVIDIA chip here. Maybe like, upscaling from an internal resolution of, say, I don't know, 720p up to like, I don't know, potentially 4K, who knows? And maybe even some frame gen. I don't know how you guys feel about like frame generation technology, where like every other frame is like AI generated, kind of to be like, kind of like interpolation on modern TVs. Like it kind of inserts a frame where there's not usually supposed to be one. It's AI generated. that's a feature in like modern DLSS software. So regardless of how you feel about that or not, it's an advancement in technology, and I'd assume that being NVIDIA, this console, the Switch 2, is probably going to take advantage of that in some capacity. So it's not gonna be an apples to oranges sort of thing. But yeah, I think that you can expect a pretty strong upgrade in terms of graphics. Don't expect it to be like a PlayStation 5, but if it's PlayStation 4, I think that'll be good enough for most people. Now let's talk about price. Obviously, Nintendo hasn't put a price out there, but I'm expecting this to be a little bit more costly than the Switch. I think that Nintendo's reasonable ceiling here for price is $400, and I think that that's what I'm expecting the Switch 2 to be released at, is an MSRP of $400. If they go any higher than that, you can get a PlayStation 5 for $425. Granted, it would be a digital version, and recently, I'm sorry, you can buy a PlayStation 5 digital version for $450. If Nintendo goes to that cost, I think that most people are going to be like, why wouldn't I just get a PlayStation 5 instead? Heck, I bought a PlayStation 5 recently, and I got it on sale for $425 with a disc reader. If Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be $400 or plus $400, I think that's a very risky proposition, and I don't think that that's going to go well for most people. Best case scenario, we see a price drop from the Switch 1 here, and then the Switch 2 ends up being $350. I highly doubt that. I am expecting $400. But we'll see. As far as software compatibility, I was very excited a few months ago when Nintendo officially announced that the Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible with Switch 1 games. And that's a huge deal, but there was a bit of a question mark after that first announcement, and that was, is it just digital? We're seeing a move in the video game industry to digital and streaming services here. Physical seems to be going by the wayside for the most part. From experience, I'm seeing a lot less physical games in places like Best Buy, for example. Like, there's still some, but it's not as readily available as it used to be. Physical is definitely on its way out, and that's why I'm super stoked to see that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be fully backwards compatible with physical Switch games. And I have to say, I feel like I might have dodged a bullet on that one. If the Switch 2 was not going to be compatible with physical games on the Switch, I don't know exactly what I would do. So, yeah, pretty stoked that they're gonna be all these games here are gonna be compatible with the Switch 2. Very happy about that. By the way, just in case anyone was curious, yeah, I do own 30 physical Switch games. That's a lot of games. The other thing that they mentioned here is that Switch games might not be fully supported on the Switch 2. I do think that that's a bit of a conservative disclaimer. I think it's more like the Switch 2 isn't going to be compatible with Labo, for example. Maybe not even Ring Fit Adventure. I don't know. But I have a feeling that most of the Switch games, certainly all the ones that I own, are going to be compatible with the Switch 2. And yeah, I don't think that we should look at that disclaimer and be super concerned. I think it'll be fine. Sorry, I need to catch up with my notes here. Oh, I forgot to mention something about the Switch's performance. Like, I had mentioned that I'm expecting some DLSS sort of equivalent here for upscaling, super sampling, and frame gen. So I don't think that 4K is out of the question. It would be an upscaled 4K, not a native 4K, but I don't think that that's out of the question. Still, I've played with the Switch 1 for 8 years at this point, nearly 8 years. And honestly, after how the games looked on Switch 1, there were some games that looked just atrocious. Like some that rendered out at 540p or whatever, it looked like someone smeared Vaseline on your screen. Like if you were playing Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, I heard it would drop down to 540p at times and just didn't look very great. Games like Witcher 3, like incredibly impressive that they got it running on the Switch at all, especially considering that they had the full game on the Switch cartridge. That was crazy. But it still lacked in terms of performance, and I don't think that that was the ideal experience. So, honestly, the Switch 2, if it can do 1080p, 60 frames per second, 90% of the time, I would be as happy as a Yoshi in Yoshi's Story eating his favorite fruit. I think that's pretty much all I want to discuss about the hardware, but I do want to talk about a couple of other things. There was a new Mario Kart shown in the trailer here. It looks like they soft announced the next Mario Kart. It does look like a new Mario Kart. I don't want to full delve into that. I'll leave that to more qualified channels to do a deep dive on what the new Mario Kart really has in store. But it looks like what I'm hearing is 24 racers. It looks like the characters have different models. Like people are noting Mario looks a little bit more chubby, like his Mario 64 render, I guess, from Mario Kart 64. Donkey Kong looks more like his movie appearance, and it sounds like that might just be the de facto Donkey Kong design moving forward. Princess Peach doesn't have her motorcycle biker outfit anymore. That's kind of a letdown. But There's definitely some stuff to look forward to with this new Mario Kart. It looks like it's going to be bigger. It does look like it's going to be a new Mario Kart, not Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or anything. But I will say that putting out a new Mario Kart, and I'm assuming this is going to be a launch game, and that would make all the sense in the world to me, considering that Mario Kart 8 is the 5th best-selling video game of all time. You heard that right. 5th best-selling video game of all time, Mario Kart 8. That's wild. Obviously, Nintendo is going to want to capitalize on just the Mario Kart hype right now, I guess. I think they're going to put out Mario Kart 9 or whatever it ends up being called, like Mario Kart Road Trip. I don't know. I think they're going to put that out pretty much as soon as they reasonably can. If not at launch, certainly within the launch window, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was. I think that's going to be a system seller. Nintendo announced that there is going to be a Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2 in April, early April. Funny thing is, some people saw the date 2025. I think some people, I'm not going to name any names, but I think some people were watching the UK trailer and mixed up kind of the date sort of format. The date format is different in the PAL regions, for example, than it is in North America. And they saw February 4th is what they read it as. And they're like, oh, that's only a few weeks away. Settle down, guys. April 2nd. And that feels like it's a decent ways away. There's going to be a lot of leaks and rumors and stuff between now and then, I guarantee it, especially on April Fools. I feel like Nintendo borderline dodged a bullet with April 2nd, but how many people are going to see the announcements on April Fool's Day and be fooled by them for the slightest of moments? I am going to try and avoid the internet on April Fool's Day. Absolutely. I already do, but it's going to be even more so this year. I also want to note that there's a bunch of handheld. I also want to note that there's going to be some hands-on experiences available for the Switch 2 in various different places. I think I'm hearing PAX East is probably going to have it. It's select locations, but there will be some hands-on experiences with the Switch 2 lined up between April and June. And I think that points to a June release date for this thing at the earliest. And it makes sense. That was kind of like the time separation between the announcement of the original Switch in October 2016 to March 2017 for its actual release. A 6-month release window. Sorry, a 5-month sort of separation between announcement, reveal, and release. I think that makes sense. I'm thinking sometime in mid-June, maybe late June, for a release for this thing, which for me, that's a great bonus. That's right around my birthday, so maybe I can justify getting one at launch, especially if they have, a really compelling game at launch. Mario Kart 9 may not exactly do it for me. I love Mario Kart, but it's not going to sell a system for me. But if there's a new 3D Mario game or a new Zelda game right at launch, if I can save up enough money by June, I'll be there day one. But speaking of launch games, I think that brings up a question for Yoshi fans such as myself, and if you're watching this, I assume such as yourselves. Can we expect there to be a new Yoshi game at launch or within the launch window? No. No, I don't think that we can reasonably expect there to be a Yoshi game at launch or within the launch window. Obviously, Yoshi is going to be in, like, if there's a new Mario game, or obviously the Mario Kart shows Yoshi in it. If there's a Mario game at launch, there's a pretty good chance Yoshi's going to be in it. But I do not think that there is going to be a Yoshi game, like an actual Yoshi mainline game, mainliner spin-off, whatever. I don't think we can reasonably expect one within the launch window. Now, something I want to note is there's not like a real solid definition for launch window. From what I can tell, it can mean anywhere between 3 months to 6 months within 3 to 6 months of the release date of the console. So if my assumption is correct and this is releasing in June, up through the end of the year, December is like the launch window. And I don't think we can expect a new Yoshi game in that time. To give you guys an idea, a mainline Yoshi game has never been released within the launch window of a Nintendo console. Never. Not even once. The closest we got to that was Yoshi's Island on the GBA. The GBA port of Yoshi's Island, which released, at least here, it released on September 24th, It released on September 24th, 2002, which was about a year and a half after the Game Boy Advance came out. So that's the earliest in a console's life that we've ever gotten like a mainline Yoshi game, and it was a port. Yoshi games tend to come out at like the midpoint to later in the life of the Nintendo console. There was one instance where a Yoshi game released within the launch window, or the launch window. That was Yoshi Touch and Go. It released like 2 months after the original DS came out. January 27th, 2005, Yoshi Touch and Go came out on, versus a November 21st, 2004 release date in North America for the DS. So that's within like 2 months, but that was a spin-off. I don't want to get my hopes up for a new Yoshi game, spin-off or otherwise, coming out in the launch window. And part of the reason for that is that Yoshi just isn't a big priority for Nintendo. It's like, it's not a system seller like Mario or Zelda or Splatoon or Mario Kart are. It's not that huge of a deal, I don't think. Obviously, everybody loves Yoshi. Like, I can't think of anyone who like looks at Yoshi and thinks, oh, he looks gross. Why would anybody like this guy? Yoshi's a very lovable character. It's not like Nintendo hates Yoshi or anything, but his series of games, the best-selling one was Yoshi's Island on the Super Nintendo, and that sold like 4.25 million copies. Yeah, that's not that's like a drop in the bucket compared to what a 3D Mario or Zelda would sell, or especially Mario Kart at this point. So it's just not that important of a series of games to put out early in the console's life, and I think that's why they don't really prioritize it. I think that the best that we can hope for, I guess I should note that I'm kind of being like a little bit dreary and drab about this whole situation. Like, don't expect a Yoshi game until like 3 or 4 years into the Switch 2's life cycle. I know I'm kind of being pessimistic, but I will say it's worth noting that Yoshi's Crafted World came out about 2 years after the Switch did. And it was announced at the June Direct of 2017, just a few months after the Switch came out. So, can we expect news of a new Yoshi game coming out within the launch window? I think that's a reasonable expectation. We'll see. But we're not looking like we're going to get a Yoshi game within the first year or two of the Switch being out. And if my assumption is correct, that will be the longest gap between Yoshi games that we've ever had. The current record holder is Yoshi's Island DS to Yoshi's New Island. That was about a 7.5 wait between those two games. Yoshi's Crafted World turned 6 years old in March of this year. You feel old? I feel old. But yeah, if my assumption is correct and we get a new Yoshi game, say, I don't know, June 2027, that will have been a full-on 8 years since Yoshi's Crafted World. That'll be a new record, and that's not a record that I'm super excited about. I think that the best that we can reasonably hope for, if we want a new Yoshi game in the next year, I think a reasonable expectation would be a port of Yoshi's Woolly World to the Switch. Not even the Switch 2. I wouldn't get my hopes up about a Switch 2 port. I'm thinking a Switch port, to be honest with you. It seems like an appropriate swan song for the Switch. I will say that seems like it would be kind of an unfortunate parallel to Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, releasing like a month before the Switch came out on the 3DS. If that happens for the Switch, well, it won't be ideal, but I think that it would still be a good version of the game to buy. Even if the Switch 2 is out and Yoshi's Woolly World doesn't come out on that, if it comes out on the Switch, I'll be happy. So, I think that's the best we can reasonably hope for Yoshi games representation on Switch or Switch 2 in the next year or two. But yeah, that's what I think about the Switch 2's reveal. I had a lot to say, and there's a lot of question marks still left on the table here. There's a lot of info we still need about this thing, and you can bet that I'm going to be here watching the Direct. Sorry. You can bet that I'm going to be watching the Direct. I doubt that I'll stream it. Usually the Directs don't air at a good time for me to stream, but I will definitely watch it, and I'm looking forward to some awesome announcements and some more information about the Switch 2. It looks very promising to me. I can't wait. Very excited. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you guys think in the comments. And let me know, are you excited for the Switch 2, or is it a little more lackluster than you were hoping? Let me know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. So yeah, thanks for watching this one. See you in the next video. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me as I did my whole little spiel on the Switch here. Yeah. What do you guys think? Are you excited for the Switch 2? I think it's pretty obvious that I am, and I had a lot to say about it. I think it will come out relatively early, like within the first or second year of the Switch 2, says DV. I think that's a little optimistic, but honestly, a little optimism never hurt anybody. I would be pleasantly surprised if it came out in the next year or two. I'm super excited for the Switch 2, says Blues Cat. Attaboy. To be fair, Yoshi's Crafted World was revealed early in the Switch's life, even if it got delayed. Yeah, originally it was supposed to come out in 2018, and then it did get delayed. I'm not too upset about that, but yeah. And I think that's actually kind of ideal, because I got to stream that game early in my channel's life. I'm excited, but I'm super sentimental towards my current Switch, lol, says JP. Oh yeah, me too. Love my current Switch. And I don't think that I'm retiring this guy anytime soon, even when I get a Switch 2. Oh, there was something I forgot to mention in the video, but yeah, how wild would it be? I think it's probably a good thing that I forgot to mention this, but how wild would it be if the Switch 1 ended up being forwards compatible with the Switch 2? Imagine if like the game cartridges are shaped exactly the same way and you can play Switch 1 games or Switch 2 games on either the Switch 1 or the Switch 2, just like with less performance obviously in the Switch 1. I don't think that's super realistic, but imagine how cool that would be. Still, I do think that would cannibalize sales, and I don't think it would be a smart business move, but how cool would it be? It would set a pretty interesting precedent, honestly. I'm excited, but I don't think I'm going to buy it, says Chris. I can't blame you. I like I said, I do think it's going to be $400, and it's really the games that sells a console. As I kind of mentioned in the whole discussion, if there's a 3D Mario game or a Zelda game, or obviously if there's a Yoshi game, I'm there day one, if I can afford it. But yeah, aside from that, I might be able to wait till Christmas. It would give me more time to save up for it. I could more easily justify that as a Christmas present for the whole family. That might be my ideal scenario for myself, at least. I'm thinking I probably will end up waiting till Christmas. Again, unless there's some super exciting giant game that I'm excited about coming to the Switch 2 at launch, then, well, I'm going to have to pony up and buy it right at launch. Mario Kart's a big enough sell to me. It's been 10 long years since, says JP. Yeah, going on 11. 11 years since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Kart 8 released on the Wii U. That's crazy. Mouse capabilities. A new Mario and Wario game. That means hard mode Yoshi in a modern Nintendo game. That would be a neat little touch, wouldn't it? More excited for... Oh, sorry. Definitely asking too much from Nintendo, says DV. Yeah, I agree. And again, I think that's why I'm glad I forgot to mention it in the video. That's like a pie in the sky sort of dream. And I think maybe like a part of that is just me being like, I don't want to leave my Switch behind. I'd love to play the new games without having to buy the new console, but yeah, you know, that's highly unrealistic. I don't think that's ever been done before. So, yeah, definitely not expecting that. There's only like 10 Switch games that use the sensor thing anyways, says DV. Yeah, in terms of like what games are going to be compatible, yeah, I don't think that it's going to be a big list of games that aren't compatible on the Switch 2. I think it'll be like a PlayStation 5 versus PlayStation 4 situation where PlayStation 5 can play like 99.5% of all PlayStation 4 games or something. I don't have a single PlayStation 4 game that won't work on my PlayStation 5. I'm pretty sure the Switch 2 is going to be the same way. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this stream, guys. You can look forward to an edited video of that discussion, similar to my Mario Wonder Yoshi discussion, in a few days, I hope. I don't know how fast I'll be able to edit it. We'll see. Hopefully within the next few days, though. So look forward to that. And aside from that, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. I've had a blast, and yeah, hope you guys had a good time too. If you want to, you can answer my chat on the stream though. Oh, okay. Why don't I go ahead and look at it? So Chris asks me in a Discord DM. It seems like he's okay with me sharing this. He says, so I've been thinking lately that I don't need a girlfriend and married. I want to focus on my dream. I don't want to sound arrogant and money because having a girlfriend and wife is too much to bother. Is it a good or a bad thing? Sorry if my opinion makes you a bit triggered or anything, says Chris. I'm not triggered at all by that. Obviously for me, it's not like my ideal sort of scenario. For me, like, I wanted to have a family. I wanted to have someone to take care of and, you know, kids to raise and that sort of thing. Like, that's something that I wanted, but it's not like it's for everybody. I think overall it's a good thing to get married and to have kids. I think it's a net positive, but you know, I don't think it's a bad thing for you to stay single and focus on, you know, the things you want to focus on either. I don't think anyone's going to look down on you for that. I certainly won't. It's kind of, you kind of mentioned that it's expensive to have a family and a wife, and as someone with a wife and 2 kids, I can assure you, yes, it is expensive, and especially in today's economy, it's a lot harder than it ever used to be. For me, it's absolutely worth it. But if it's not for you and you want to focus on, you know, your dreams and your aspirations, I don't fault you for that. So choose the path that works the best for you. You can always change your mind down the road. Lately or nowadays, it's more common to get married or to have kids or any of that later in life than it ever used to be. I don't know the numbers, but I definitely know just from my own personal day-to-day life, chatting with my coworkers at work who are like between 25 and 30, most of them don't even have a significant other yet. I'm sitting here like I got married in 2018. I was 24 at the time, and now I've got 2 kids, a third one on the way. It seems like I'm a little bit ahead of the curve. But again, don't let anyone look down on you if you decide to go that route of staying single for a while and maybe you'll change your mind later down the road. Plenty of people do it. It's not like it's a right or wrong sort of scenario. It's what works best for you. So, yeah, definitely keep that in mind. Well, guys, I appreciate you tuning into this stream. I hope you all had a good time. I know I did. So, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I go live or post a video. Feel free to join the Discord if you haven't already and would like to do so. A lot of fun there. You can chat with me. Love chatting with the fans. I post links for the Discord, for the live stream in the Discord when I go live. Try to keep you guys posted about my stream schedule and whatnot. You can vote for the next game that I stream. You can give me suggestions for end of stream and beginning of stream music. And then lots of fun community things like sharing pictures of your food or your drawings or your own content. Lots of fun stuff to do in the Discord, so feel free to join. Next stream, guys, I'm thinking will be next Friday, starting around 10-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give or take half an hour or so, depending. We'll be streaming more Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Looking forward to that. I cannot wait to come back and play more. So, thanks for watching, everybody. And hopefully, we'll see you next time. Have a good week, everybody.